Hello, boys and girls. How are we doing? This is weird. I've not streamed for ages. It's been nearly a week. I feel out of practice. How do I make you see my face? My stream deck's been pushed far away from me. I can't reach it. And now it's not working. Why is my stream deck not working? You might have to just watch this screen all night. This could be a disaster. Hold on. We're trying to get the stream deck working. I'm assuming you can hear me. Let's try that again. The stream deck is not working, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to have to press the buttons in OBS like a caveman. That, quite frankly, is unacceptable. I can't even... There you go. Rubbish. My stream deck's not working. I don't stream for a week and my stream deck's given up. Ah! Hello, folks. Welcome to the pre-stream stream. This is where the cool kids hang. How are we all doing? Exciting news, by the way, because it's now March. Dave, get out of the way. I'm coming back. Because it's March, we've officially gone back to shorts, everybody. Shorts until October. Oh, I hope you're excited. Trousers are done. It's the summer! Sort of. Ah, lovely, lovely, lovely. It's so nice to have my legs out on stream again. Barefoot streaming. Beautiful. That way, no one can make me do what I discussed, this thing I learned about last night. A shoey. Still don't really know what it is. Still don't really understand it. I'm too old. And considering this is my shoe, I don't know how much liquid it's going to hold. I guess you could get little bits between the little bubbles on it and then kind of lick off of it. Don't know that it has the same effect. Ah, dear. Do a shoey. What, I'm going to pour coffee over my flip-flop? That would be my equivalent of doing it. Oh, my word. What about in April when the snow returns? Shorts. Always shorts. By the way, thank you to all the subs that have already come in this evening. Hollandinho in with the 5 gifted subs before he'd even seen my beautiful face. By the way, the whole week I've been off, you've probably noticed it in videos, the whole week I've been off streaming, I've had a massive spot on my head. I think I'm allergic to not streaming. But Hollandinho was in with the 5 gifted, thank you very much. Annie in with the 5-month sub on a 3-month streak, plus some bits. It's like a triple whammy from Annie, thank you very much. Fleming's in with the 29-month sub on a 6-month streak now. Who else have we got? Paul is in on an 8-month streak. Chelsea 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 is in on a 14-month sub, 6-month streak. Jimmy 11 months. It's a beautiful thing to see. Annie now with a gifted sub as well. Thank you very much to everybody. Talk about making me feel like you wanted me back. Oh, I feel a warm glow inside. Rockin' Bob as well. Thank you very much for the Prime Gaming sub. See, while I've been off, I've learnt to say Prime Gaming rather than Twitch Prime. I will almost certainly go back to calling it Twitch Prime from now on, but I did remember that one time. Call it Prime Gaming. Morgan Murray, thank you for the sub as well. The other exciting thing is the NordVPN deal has been extended for 3 more months. We need like I need the money music. Yeah, Kev's gonna get himself a new tie, a new jacket, a new NordVPN jacket. So thank you to everyone who supported that. If you haven't been in the streams over the last month or so, it was a 1-month trial. We did a 1-month trial with NordVPN, not for you. It was a 1-month trial of them sponsoring the stream, and you lot smashed it out of the park, and they've come back in late last week with a 3-month contract extension. So you've got to hear me talking about NordVPN for at least another 3 months. But in all seriousness, it is one of those things. It's nice to have secure monthly income, because as someone who's self-employed, this is my full-time job, has a very variable income. We're hitting the dry spell each year that we hit with YouTube ad revenue and all that kind of thing. So it is non-League of Legends coming to an end, all that stuff. So being able to have long-term contracts with the likes of NordVPN, Skillshare, they're the 2 that I've got running at the moment. We've had one with Big Potato Games in the past as well. These longer-term brand partnerships are really useful, really, in like managing the stress levels on a day-to-day basis, because I know even if I have a heart attack, and can't make any content for a month, there's now a minimum level of income that, to be honest, would probably pay most of my bills. And it is thanks to you lot supporting the sponsors that I'm able to do that. So thank you very, very much. Who did we get to? Morgan, did I say thank you? I'm not sure if I said thank you. Jaffa D, thank you very much for the sub. Happy. Kev, should Ben retire from the streamer showdown? What, without facing me? Is he some kind of chicken? I think he should stick to his stipulation. It's difficult. I always think you should stick to your stipulation, but at the same time, streamer showdown without me embarrassing Ben won't be the same, will it? So I don't want him gone. Maybe you should sit one out. I don't want him gone permanently. Am I happy with the streamer showdown gift sub I gave you on Thursday? I am, Annie. Thank you very much. Do I still have Big Potato Games? I still have lots of Big Potato Games. I don't work with them currently, but I still have lots of Big Potato Games, and they're still a great company. Right, shall we get into some Football Manager? I think we should. I'm trying the Stream Deck again. It's probably... The Stream Deck works now. So why is it working now when it wasn't working before? I don't understand. Stream Deck now works, boys and girls. Excellent stuff. Right, where did we get to? I should probably... Zealand final choke. Yeah. Oh, silly old Zealand. Congratulations to FNG, by the way. I know I had to cut my promo on him on the lowdown and on Twitter last night, but it is nice to see a fresh champion. You know, it says a lot about those jokers who were there month in, month out, that when I'm not there, they still can't find a victory. They have to let a FIFA guy come in on a one-off and win it. But you know what? He can only beat the opponents that put in front of him. He had a bunch of numpties put in front of him and he beat them all. So congratulations to Niren, and I'll put him in his place next month, the same way I did with Manny. Those of you who study history will know that last year when Manny won the showdown while I wasn't in it, Manny came in with his little guest spot, won the showdown, became interim champion, then ducked out of the next showdown, which of course I won. And then eventually, I think it was 2 or 3 showdowns later, me and Manny were finally in the same one together. I spanked him 4-0 and he's not been back since. So I'll deal with Niran the way I dealt with Manny. And I'll deal with any of these FIFA lot who come in. I'll deal with them all the same way. I'll let them have their little win when I'm not around, and then put them in their place afterwards and remind them who's boss. I don't have yet another new crown for nothing. Look at that. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Oh, lovely, lovely, lovely. Right, so just to talk you through the save, because I know it's been a little while, and if you didn't catch the daytime stream that I did last week or the back end of the final stream before my week off, you probably don't know what's going on. So this is the same save that we were working with before. We're now into 2025, so the 6th season of the save. We started with all of the UK and Ireland leagues loaded, so I don't need to explain to you what they are. We started with all the UK and Ireland leagues loaded. We started unemployed, and we just waited to see who would be offered a job. Unemployed, no coaching badges, Sunday League football experience. The first jobs we were offered were in Wales. We were offered Port Talbot and Llanelli. We ended up going to Llanelli midway through that first season. They were down in the 2nd tier in Wales. I could probably show you how they've been getting on. Oh, hold on. What have I done there? Why has that happened? Oh, everything's gone. Okay, the Stream Deck's not fully working. That was weird. So yeah, we joined Llanelli partway through the first season when they were down in the 2nd tier. We stopped them getting relegated. The next season we got promoted.
Whatever you do, please spend a world record fee to bring Rui Kamara along with you in non-league to legend. VKels,
I'll do my best. We got promoted to the Welsh Premier League. It took us a couple of years of 3rd place finishes and European adventures, but then we finally, just before we left, won the Welsh Premier League and used that to spin ourselves up into a new job. The new job that we got was here in Scotland with CLYDE. We tried to bring some of our heroes with us. Not all of them have wanted to come though. We really wanted to bring the one-armed swan, but he wasn't interested in coming to Scotland. But we did manage to bring some of our Llanelli boys. You can see there's 3 of them came in there. We did a daytime stream last week where we went through a nice big transfer window and then played in this absolutely nuts League Cup, I think this is in Scotland, the Betfred Cup, where we actually qualified. We're the only League One team left in the League Cup. So we play Dundee United coming up very soon. First up, though, is the SPFL Trust Trophy second round. The SPFL Trust Trophy is significant because as winners of the Welsh Premier League, Llanelli will be joining this in the third round. So we've got the potential to play against our former club if we do well in this competition. So the goal is do well. We're predicted to finish 4th by the media. The board are looking for a mid-table finish. Realistically, I'd like to go up. I want to continue pushing forward in this save. I would like a promotion, and that's where we pick things up this evening. Did I thank everyone who came in with a sub? I think I did. Press random buttons. That's basically how you play Football Manager. It's all about pressing random buttons. Come on, Clyde. Exactly. Come on, Clyde. Did I manage to do player allocations? Oh, crumbs. I've had a week off and I haven't, have I? Paul, tell you what, I'm writing it on a piece of paper in front of me now so that when I finish tonight's stream, I can't leave my desk until it's done. I am terrible at these player allocations. So, allocate players. See, piece of paper. Can you see that? It says allocate players. That is now on my desk behind my mug. And I'll have to take that mug out of me with me when I leave the room, because you know I wouldn't ever leave a mug in here. So I'll take that mug upstairs with me and allocate some players. Joel Bagan, who the heck are you? You're quite a good defender by the looks of it. I'm sure Past Kev had a plan, so let's bring you in. Was I surprised by Fox? Not really. Marley, thank you very much for the sub. I wasn't particularly surprised by Lee. To be fair, he scored more goals than I thought he would. But also, as predicted, it was very much a plan A only squad. And when he got Milinkovic-Savic injured, he didn't really have a plan B. He didn't have much in the way of squad depth. He didn't really have... He had to use his lemon wipe after the first match because he didn't have the strength in depth. So I predicted he wouldn't win, and he didn't win. So I wasn't particularly surprised. No. I think Ben should have beaten him. If Ben had done a normal tactic, Ben beats him. For some reason, he decided to do something really, really weird, and I don't know why. The Wolverine, thank you very much for the 11 months. Mug, that sounds singular. Yeah, it's not strictly singular. The mug I'm using currently is singular, and that's the one that's behind. There are 3 or 4 more mugs that have generated down here for the rest of the day. Jack Hamilton, who the hell are you? You are our third choice goalkeeper. Of course you can leave the club on loan. Why would I want you to stay here? Nice heel promo for FNG last night. We're pushing for Kevy 6 times. Yeah, this time next month I'll be Kevy 6 times. It was announced, wasn't it, last night that I'm back for season 3. Definitely back for season 3. Cashing in my guaranteed invite from season 2, which, as you know, I couldn't play in it because Anna was on nights. We pretended there was another story, but you lot knew the real reason I wasn't able to play in it. So my invite rolled over to this one. So fingers crossed FNG's back as well. I think he confirmed he'll be back as well on the lowdown. So me and him in there. I'll right a few wrongs. I hope some of the others who talked smack at me over the weekend are in as well, because I feel like, once again, despite winning the thing 5 times out of 7 appearances, it still feels like some of them need reminding who's the real world champion, the king of FM, the greatest Football Manager player in history. Oh, I forgot we've got this stupid squad number thing here in Scotland where we're only allowed 25 squad numbers. And we have to keep swapping them around. This is so dumb. Right, is number 23 taken? It's not. In that case, you can be number 23. Sorted. Easter already. Is it Easter already? Why is it Easter? I'm confused. Right, pump those fists. Show me what you can do. This is the S something cup. This is the cup that Llanelli are going to be in the next round. So we've got to win in this one. It's important. What do I think of Twitter bringing in Patreon, YouTube style monthly subs where you become a super follower? Not sure when it's coming in. I've heard nothing about that. I don't really have an opinion. I mean, I guess As far as I'm concerned, there are people out there who are Twitter content creators. Out of Context FM springs to mind immediately. They've got more Twitter followers than anyone else in the Football Manager community, but they don't really have much of a way to monetize that because they don't really make any other content. And they've tried to spin out into other platforms where you can monetize a little bit more, and they don't seem to be getting very far with it. And because of that, they're having to do dodgy brand deals for terrible companies that I wouldn't touch with a barge pole. So if it gives them a way to monetize that so they don't have to do dodgy brand deals, then it seems fair. It's another one of those things, isn't it? Where you can either pay the money or not pay the money. I'm comfortable with creators making money however they can. It's then up to the followers to either pay or not. What have I done to upset as a party so much? He really doesn't want me to win. Because he thinks he's the best Football Manager player and he hasn't won in, 6 or 7 attempts he's had in the Showdown. He can't win. And he's one of these people who thinks because he's a button clicker, that makes him better than me. And he doesn't understand why I've won 5 times. And every time I win and he doesn't, it's a massive blow to his button clicking ego. Basically that. I honestly don't bother watching the Showdown. When I tuned in Saturday night and Kev wasn't playing, I felt like, see, you should have watched it. It was great fun. This is the first one I've been able to watch since back when Manny won, back in, what was that, season 5 of FM20? Because the last one I wasn't in was when I was moving house, so I didn't get to watch any of that. And I think I only sat out twice in FM20. Or once? Twice, maybe. Yeah, that was the 10th one and I've been in 7. So I sat out twice in FM20 and now 1 on FM21. So, yeah, I sat out when Manny won. I sat out when Second Yellow Card won, and I didn't get to watch any of that. So this is only the second one I've been able to watch, and it's really good entertainment. I really enjoyed watching it over the weekend. Highly recommended. You're a button clicker as well now. Yeah, but he doesn't... The traditional button clickers, the ones who are open about their button clicking, rather than the ones who hide their button clicking like me, the ones who are open about their button clicking don't accept that I know how to click the buttons too. Walsall Mr. H, thank you for the sub. Yeah, it was Second Yellow Card who won the one when we were moving house, not Work the Space. Can't imagine Jack winning one. Poor old Jack. If you could watch, why couldn't you play? Because I couldn't watch the whole thing, so I mean, this is an awful lot of detail to go in, but Anna started work at 7:45 every night. So I could watch up until like 7:15 each evening, and then I had to drive Anna to work and then drive back again. So I missed everything from like 7:30 till 8:15, 8:20. And then about 9:30 again, I had to go upstairs and get Andy ready for bed and sort his bedtime stuff. And then I'd be back down by about 10:15. So I was missing like an hour and a half of each night by having to take Anna to work and then do dad things. I've only just found you recently, like all the content on YouTube. Stephen Baker 82. Thank you very much. Glad you're enjoying it. Great birth year as well. I assume that's your birth year. All the best people were born in 1982, and I won't have anyone disagree with me because it's right. Just like the correct height is 6'2", and the correct way to wear facial hair is this, the correct year to be born is 1982. All the best people were born then. Beagle's Blood, thank you very much for your 12-month sub. You have got a silver nut. Congratulations. Dave, you could have missed all that and still won. We all know. Yeah, I mean, that wouldn't have been fair on everybody else, would it? It makes a mockery of the whole thing if I just turn up, play 3 matches and then win. I really do think that if I'd have played last night with Ben's squad, I'd have won the thing. I'd have won the whole thing. Can't believe what he was doing with that squad. Why did he not just... I mean, against Lee, just do a 4-2-3-1. Just don't try and be clever. Don't try and outthink him. Don't try and counter what he's doing. Just smash him over the face with a 4-2-3-1 Gagen Press with some long throw instructions. That's all he needed. Button clicking never beats preset tactics. It just doesn't. Beagles, thanks for the bits as well. Kind of sad Non-League to Legends ending, my favourite series on YouTube. I think you'll really enjoy what comes next. Don't worry. Born in the USA is going to be incredible. I've come from the Streamer Showdown. Hello. Hello to the Streamer Showdown. To Shanmaster. How you doing? Ben should have won the squad he had. Absolutely. FNG had a very tough to beat squad though. You say that, but he needed 2 penalty shootouts to get through to where he did. He didn't win a game until the final. I think my squad from last time knocks him out in the semi-finals, knocks him out in the quarterfinals. Because remember, we cruised. We were on cruise control in season 1. Until that final when Clates gave me a little bit of a battle. We were fully on cruise control throughout those knockouts. Bum, 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 ba, da, dum. Right. I'm still learning my players. So Kane Taylor, I think, is a ball-winning midfielder. Yeah. How do I remember that from a week ago? But he can play box to box. Delcroix, of course, came over with us from Llanelli. Phoenix Patterson is from Kettering. We always played him on the left for Kettering, so it seems a little bit weird having him on the right-hand side. Get him on over there. Is he a winger? Yeah, he's a winger. And then that'll do for now. Why have we... What buttons am I pressing here? Tom gave me a run for my money. We always had Tom beaten. Ches would have beaten FNG. But for the missed penalty. Yeah, exactly. Ben should have won as you did your trick so well in the league early on. Got to finish 4th in the league. Yeah, he definitely should have won. And he sent me some screenshots on, I can't remember if it was Saturday afternoon or Sunday afternoon. I think it was Saturday afternoon before any of it started. He sent me screenshots of 3 tactics that he was planning on using. And he didn't end up using any of the 3 of them. And I just replied with, yeah, use these. Get these done. These should be your tactics. Use these and you'll win. Because he drafted well. Even with Messi, he drafted well. I wouldn't have got Messi. I'd have still upgraded a little bit in some other areas. And he went a bit too top heavy with strikers. I probably would have had 1 less striker and gone for a little bit more depth further back. But I think he ended up outthinking himself a little bit and got too bogged down with trying to counter Foxy rather than just smashing him. Thought you were not supposed to pronounce the T in Kettering. Well, I'm not from Kettering, so I'll pronounce it the way normal humans pronounce it. I think in Kettering it is Kettering or something like that, but I'm not from Kettering, so I'll say Kettering. Did I see Tom FM's video on Saturday morning? Hand on heart, don't think I've ever seen a Tom FM video. That's not true. I've seen a few. That wasn't my heart. I don't have a heart. No, I didn't. What did he do? Was it a tribute to how great I am? That's the sort of content he should be making. Should he have taken Virgil first? What, Ben? Yes. Because again, he doesn't lose to Lee if he's got Virgil van Dijk in the team, because Zealand actually said something insightful, which I was flabbergasted, because for a minute it sounded like Zealand knew what he was talking about. Because Zealand mentioned at one point, I think on the Saturday, that Virgil is... people get overexcited about how much of a goal threat Zealand is, how much of a goal threat Van Dijk is going forward. But the real thing Virgil van Dijk adds to a squad is how incredibly good he is at defending the set pieces. So those long throws that did Ben in against Lee, if you have Virgil van Dijk defending that near post, then he doesn't score those goals. Duff Droid, thank you for the sub. And Kieran and Owen, thank you to all 3 of you for the subs coming in. Beautiful stuff. Right, this is the Betfred Cup now. How many cup games are we playing this evening? do they just not do league football in Scotland?
Streamer Showdown. Congratulations on becoming heavy 6 times.
Basically said I'm going to win the showdown. This is how I'm going to do it. And then came last in the league and went out in the quarterfinals. Oh, bless him. He's such a silly boy, isn't he? Oh, dear. Such a silly boy. Right, we've got to mess around with squad numbers again. So you can have number 22. We have to do that before every game. Is Haaland better now after the data update? I've not used him, so I don't know. I mean, did he score 8 or 9 goals in the showdown? So I would suggest maybe he is, because I don't think he's ever had a showdown return like that before. But I've not used him, so I don't know. I've not looked. That's a lovely goal. I was glad Ben did that stream dispelling the bleep some people were spouting on Twitter about who gets into the showdown. Yeah, it needed saying. Hopefully it's said now. Will the Bourne database be available to download when I start the series? Don't know. Maybe not immediately, because there's going to be a few little treats in there that I don't want people to go and find until I'm ready to show you them. So probably not straight away. It definitely will be at some point. But yeah, not straight away probably. Snail Blazer, what a name by the way. Snail Blazer, thank you for the Prime Gaming sub. What's my opinion on golden goal in the playoff? Lots of fun, like it. You put VVD on Haaland, should have worked, it didn't. I mean, you've got one of the best aerial defenders, or the best aerial defender in the game against one of the best aerial attackers. So I would say that's not necessarily an example of Virgil not working. And I think saying he didn't manage to keep Haaland out is a little bit different to saying I think he keeps Milinkovic-Savic out for Lee because he's not a striker. Well, he is almost as big as Haaland, isn't he? I think is he 6'2", 6'3"? Whereas Virgil and Haaland are both 6'4", I think. Did I see Chairs versus FNG? Handanovic made umpteen saves in the second leg. I did see that, yeah. I still wouldn't have wasted the one wild card on a goalkeeper. I say that, I wouldn't have wasted it on that goalkeeper. I would have got Donnarumma if I was going to use a wild card on my goalkeeper. Me and Donnarumma are big buddies. I have hype for Born in the USA. I've never managed or seen people manage in the MLS. Bear in mind, it's not actually going to be the MLS. It's going to be a custom database. We're redoing things. The MLS, I think, as much as people think they would like the novelty of watching me manage in the MLS, I think it very quickly goes like the Chivas save did. There's no longevity. There's no big story if you go to the MLS, because the MLS is one big division and you just win it after a year or two, and then, well, there you go. What do we do? What do we do for the rest of the series now? It's a very short series if we're in the MLS. So I've got a custom database being worked on. If you've seen the one FM Digi has made that's on the Steam Workshop, the 10-tier US database, he's making me a custom version of that with a few changes that I wanted making. Will the Bourne save still have the salary cap? Don't know what the salary cap is. Probably not. Best thing about the showdown was Pulisic scoring a scorcher versus Zealand in the final. That was pretty sweet. I've had a delve into the FM Digi one, looking at managing Boston City in the Northern Premier League. Nice. MLS is cool watching people struggle to figure out the rules for a couple of transfer windows. Kind of boring after that, exactly. And I expect Born in the USA to be my longest save of FM21. If you did an MLS save, may help US viewers understand the rules. It's a complicated system. I suspect that most proper football fans in America who have the MLS as their league that they watch when they can't watch real football the ones who spend their time actually watching European football, probably wish the MLS didn't work the way it did. So I think there will still be appeal to US viewers because it's in the US. But I think the fact it actually works like proper football rather than American franchise nonsense, I think that would be appealing. There you go. Logan 100% agrees he's an American. Sorted. Bum, 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 bum. Can I just point out how well we're doing against Dundee United, who I think are in the SPL? Or they might be the one that's in our league with us. I know either Dundee or Dundee United are in League One with us. But if this is the Cup, I think we're the only League One team left in it. So I think Dundee United are in the SPL. Yes, it is Bourne, Massachusetts. That's where the team's based. How many leagues will there be? Well, there's 10 tiers, and the 10th tier has like 20 leagues in it. So there's a lot of leagues. You should reach out to them. It's quite a small town. They might do something fun. If it wasn't for the pandemic, I would. I'd be flying over there. It would be awesome. That's been my plan for like the last 3 series. I would have been in Greece for the... I would have definitely flown out to Athens for Apollon. So, yeah, there's not really much point in reaching out to them. What can they do? Send me some pictures of the town. I can get them off the internet. But, yeah, in a non-COVID world, I mean, depending on how long this goes on, you know, if it lasts 6 months... Where are we? March now. If we get to September, the save's still going, and COVID's magically gone away, which is unlikely, but you never know. Then who's to say I can't fly out to Massachusetts and go and hang out in Bourne, have some of the local seafood, which is apparently delicious. So is it like the home save just in America in terms of the rise at the leagues? No. Because the home save is a youth academy challenge. It's basically like Apollon, but instead of in Greece, it's in the US. So compare it to Apollon. The right size of town where the locals won't be spooked by you like at home, but they also find it interesting and won't blow you off. Nice. It's like Bourne last year, but in the US. Kinda. Obviously with a slightly different goal. What was Apollon? Apollon was the best save I ever did. You should go and watch Apollon. I mean, you're going to manage the USA then. I think there's a good chance that will happen at some point, yeah? Have I ever managed in the US? Yeah, I did. We ended up at Columbus Crew on Non-League to Legend like 4 years ago. It didn't go well. I was there for like half a season and decided I didn't like the MLS and left. Bum, 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 bum. Can I just point out again what is going on this football pitch? Absolutely mad. Is my manager going to be British or American? British. It's going to be me. I don't do characters when I'm managing teams. I manage the team. So we might end up with the same issue we had with Apollon, where I can't get the national team job because I'm not that nationality, which I still don't really get from the Apollon save, because the amount of times I've been offered jobs by other nations when managing in England, I still don't get why I didn't get the Greece job in that save. It still bugs me now. I should have done. Is Born in the USA going to keep any unique US league system stuff, or is it just going to be England but in America? Such as what? What sort of unique US league system stuff do you mean? Wasn't Columbus Crew part of the first expedition of gold? Yeah, but that was part of Non-League to Legend, wasn't it? That was one of the times when I learned not to extend Non-League to Legend drafts. Oh god, no, I'm not having any of that trash. Not interested in any of that. I think people like the idea of that being in there until they realise how much of a boring pain in the butt it'll be on the save itself. It doesn't actually add anything to the entertainment. Maybe if you were playing there, you might have more fun playing a save if you had those bits on there, because you'd be learning something new and doing something different. I'm firmly of the view, what a finish from Delcroix. It's been disallowed, but what a finish. I'm firmly of the view that people watch my content to be entertained, and watching me not understand the rules and get frustrated is fun once or twice and gets old really fast. And I think it's much better to just give me a different canvas to paint a story on, but leave enough familiarity in there for it to not be constantly me trying to figure stuff out. So Dundee United are in the Scottish Premiership, and we've just put 6 goals past them. We did concede 4 as well, but you know what? I'll take that. I wasn't expecting to win. We did win. We're now through into the quarter-final of the Betfred Cup from League One. That is awesome. Dunfermline up next, who are 8th in the Scottish Premiership. They'll almost certainly beat us. It's a long time goal Club World Cup. Well, it's got a revamped CONCACAF Champions League in as well. So I guess the long-term goal is Club World Cup. But if it becomes obvious we'll never be able to do it, then the CONCACAF Champions League is fine. This is going to be a Twitch save or YouTube. This is the next YouTube save after Non-League to Legend. It won't be starting for like 3 weeks because there's stuff that needs doing for it first. MLS is a good league to start a career save in, but it's not a good long-term save league. Exactly. Just trust me. Hopefully I've built up enough trust over the years. Just trust it's going to be a good save. It is. Give it a chance. It's going to be awesome. What's the keybind for continuing the simulation? What, just for hit and continue? Spacebar. Trust Kev, he was a teacher. Exactly. I was a handsome teacher. You missed the word handsome out there for some reason, but I get the message you were trying to get across. How's the reigning champ not on the showdown? Yeah, they were scared of me. That's what it was. They were terrified. They asked me to set one out so they could get a new champion. It makes the rest of them look bad if I just keep winning over and over again. So at least now the history books look like I didn't just keep winning it over and over again. How many have I won consecutively that I've been in now? So I won season 1 and 2. Then Zealand won 3. I feel like I then won 4. Manny was 5. So I've won 2 in a row at the moment. Because I won last month. The one before I wasn't in because Matt won that. I think I won the one immediately before that. So I think I've won 2 on a row again. So I won the first 2 consecutively, and now I've won 2 consecutively now as well. Bum, 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 bum. Dun, 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 dun. It's not your fault you're too good to be in the stream of Showdown. Exactly. I don't mind having a bit of time off. I mean, we raised enough money for charity. You know, we raised what, $3,500 for charity last month. We'll do 5 grand this month when we win it again and give it to charity again, because I'm absolutely gonna give my winnings to charity again because that's how I roll. Call me a heel now. Yeah. Bum, 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 bum. Hayward, thank you for the sub. There's only 2 I haven't won when I entered. Yeah, that was the one Zealand won and the one Tom won when I deliberately got myself knocked out because of the cheating that had gone on. When Tom played Zealand when Zealand wasn't in the game. And as a sign of solidarity with one of my fellow former winners, Zealand, I gracefully eliminated myself from the competition in order to make the point that it should have been null and void. That's the story as I remember it. Kev's a heel with a heart of gold, but don't tell anyone. Exactly. How's the non-installation progress so far? Beautiful. Are we talking about this save or the one on YouTube? Either way, they're both going pretty well at the moment. This save. Yeah, we're doing all right. We won the Welsh Premier League. We won the Welsh Cup. Now we're going to try and win Scottish League One. That's the plan. Oh, that is a big throw. Woo. Dun, 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 dun. You should do a heel promo like MJF. I mean, I don't have the ability to do a promo like MJF. If I was as good at bearing in mind he's one of the best promos of all time. If I could promo like him, I'd be working in wrestling. This is the 3rd tier of Scottish football. You should win the Champions League. I mean, it'd be nice. Probably not going to do it this season, but it'd be nice. I'm about to start a new save where I'm asking FM streamers to pick me a player for a Creator Club series. I'm being City, so money isn't an issue. Any position you want so far, Van Mbappe, Haaland, James Ward-Prowse, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, and Esteban Andrada. Nice. Is that you asking me to pick you a player? Because you must know I'm not going to pick you anyone any good. You must know that's where this is going. Dun, 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 dun. What local wrestling promotions do I watch? I don't really. Let's hear it. Just not Barry Bannon. Martel Taylor Crossdale. Oh no, yeah, Ricky J. Jones. Let's be fair. Ricky J. Jones does get good. Let's say Ricky J. Jones. You got to do a bit of youth development. I don't normally watch your streams, but you're in Scotland, so I thought I'd join and watch. I mean, that seems like a very good reason to be here. Oh, that was an interesting little pinging it around the penalty area goal. Wrestling Carnival coming to Nottingham when they're allowed. Give them a look. Might do. I don't have time to go and watch wrestling, really. Dun, 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 dun. Right, here we go. Here we go. Let's do some substitutions. Can I just point out, Delcroix has been brilliant since arriving. Still only 19. He's been brilliant. He's on a 6.8. Yeah, but in the cup, we played 6. This is only our... Is this even a league game? I think this is our 3rd league game. Because Scotland is crazy. And really front loads the cup competitions inexplicably. Let's get Phoenix Patterson on this left-hand side when we know what a threat he can be, because we saw him do it at Kettering earlier in the year. Same promoter who had Pack versus Hangman Page in Nottingham before AEW started. Oh, okay, cool. Are we going to grab a 4th? Oh, is it the post? Goodness me. Goodness gracious me. Kyle's in.
16 months. That's 80 quid. I've bought you FM22 in the time I've subbed.
Thank you very much, Kyle.
Face.
16 months. Lovely stuff. This song's a bit repetitive, isn't it? Everyone sing along. My little boy came and sat on my lap and is fixed on watching me now. Hello, little beagles. How are you doing? I assume that's what you're known as, little beagles. We can turn this ship around. We don't want to turn this ship around. This ship is absolutely heading in the right direction at the moment. Although somehow we're still down in 6th place. But we have got games in hand over some of these other rascals. We are looking like we're a very good side, which is nice. Been a great week for us Ipswich fans. 2 wins. Lambertsat. We've been taken over by a US consortium. Lovely. Did I ever play any instruments while growing up? The recorder. And I was never any good at that. I'm not really musical. I mean, you've heard me bumming along to these songs. You must know that I'm tone deaf. The idea of me playing any kind of instrument is, I mean, it isn't going to go well, is it? I had to take my driving test five times because I'm so uncoordinated. So I have no hand-eye coordination and I'm entirely tone deaf. So there's no hope of me ever being able to play any kind of instrument. I think it's a miracle that I managed to pay my bills by talking into a microphone. That Cozzy and Clay, he used to play for Posh. He was a Posh youth person years ago. I want Cozzy and Clay in. Kev, make a series without using Gagen Press. Why? Why would I want to? And watch home. Or vertical sticky. Why? What's the issue with using the tactics that I like, that work? I don't get this obsession people have with using dumb tactics that don't work as well as the ones that work really well. Do people say to Jurgen Klopp, I mean, it's all well and good that you did all right at Dortmund and you've won the league with Liverpool and all that kind of stuff, but you probably just played completely differently. It makes no sense. Want to make your life hard? I'm all right with my life as it is, thanks. I was having this discussion with somebody today. I can't remember who it was or where it was. I might have even dreamt it. Someone was saying something like, we were talking about Born in the USA, and someone said something like, yeah, but you're just going to win it really easily again. And my response was, well, I'm trying to make it as hard as I can. But ultimately, I don't want to make it so hard that we get stuck languishing in the 8th tier for 4 years. Because as much as people think they prefer that and they think they get bored watching people win all the time, this current non-League to Legend that's had more moaning than any series I've ever had before has also had double the views of any other series I've ever done before. So people might think they don't like watching someone win, but the series is that I'm doing at the moment, where I'm winning a lot, people are watching a lot more than they used to. Like the current home series is doing way better than the original home series did for views. So, it's gonna sound like a weird question, but does anyone know what other expenditure? What? I don't know what that means. Thoughts on Barnsley getting promoted to the Prem? What? Barnsley promoted to the Prem? I don't understand. They're obsessed with the supposed meta, which doesn't test as meta as they think. And the thing that confuses me about that is the people who are obsessed with trying to find the meta are the same people moaning that the game's too easy. Well, I mean, I'm just a handsome old man with a beard. But there seems like an easy solution to this double problem that you've got, where you're trying to find the meta, but also complaining the game is too hard. How about you don't try and find the meta and you just enjoy playing the game? Because then it won't be as easy. The meta's just put on Gagen Press and win. It's not though, is it? Because sometimes Gagen Press isn't the right tactic to use. It's only the right tactic if you've got the right players. It's just something people like to say to troll. But home, we got promoted like 6 consecutive times with home using a wing play system. We were using wing play with the Isle of Man. Last year, at Leicester in the beta, we were using vertical tiki-taka. We used vertical tiki-taka almost all the way through FM20 when everyone said Gagen Press was the thing to do. We barely did it. So, yeah, I like the Gagen Press this year. I think it works well. Why would I not do it? Gagen pressing with non-league sides can be a chaotic mess. Wouldn't recommend. Exactly. Don't think I've ever seen someone win with the Catenaccio. You wouldn't have, because even if they did win, you'd have fallen asleep while it was happening, so you wouldn't have actually witnessed it. It's impossible to watch someone win doing a Catenaccio, because it's like watching paint dry. Chaotic messes are fun though. Yeah, but they're also unrealistic and get boring fast. Bum, bum, bum. What time am I streaming until? Probably around 10-ish. Can't actually see the time because that note I wrote myself earlier is covering up the clock. We're top of the league at the moment. Hooray! Gagen Press for the win! Oh dear. The reason I win a lot isn't because of Gagen Press. It's because of how good I am at recruiting players, both in the draft, in the showdown, and in transfer windows. I mean, this is my bread and butter. Small clubs where you can just bring in loads of free transfers. People faff too much about. For years, people have been saying, don't pay so much attention to the star ratings. Look at the attributes. I say, ignore the attributes completely. Go solely on star ratings. And look what happens. You come into a club, do one transfer window of bringing in free transfers based purely on star rating, and you take him to the top of the league and start getting to the quarterfinal of the cup and getting Llanelli into Europe. Just go with the star ratings. I won't watch someone losing on YouTube because it's boring, but on Twitch I would, because it's interesting to see the methods they use to try and fix it. But you see that they're faking that, right? Because they know what the method is to fix it. Use a tactic that works and get better players. I'm too honest, I think. I can't sit here faking the, oh, I wonder if I put my left winger forward a little bit, but tell him to cut inside and hold up the play more, and then drop my defensive line down one notch. That's probably the fix here. No, it's not. The fix is do a system that works. Just do a system that works and get players that fit in it. That's the fix. Stop pretending it's harder than it is, because it's not, you faker. Bunch of posers. Is that my Zealand impression? It was good, wasn't it? The fix for losing is down the latest nap tactic. See, I've never done that. I've never resorted to that. Definitely seen a few people streaming or playing FM where it's obvious they're avoiding basic tactics they know work. Exactly. And I don't see how anyone could think that's a good idea. Doesn't make sense. I don't get people moaning when you've won the streaming showdown not playing Gagen Press. Exactly. The only time we played Gagen Press in the showdown, I think we did it last season, didn't we? We used Gagen Press. We switched to it partway through. But even then, did we finish with it? I know we used it at times, but I don't think you can Gagen Press all the way through the showdown because the games are too close together. Fitness wise, you can't Gagen Press all the way to the showdown win. You have to use it sparingly. And time your time 11 wipes. Why do I keep bringing him on out there? I don't want him on out there. I'm going to stick him up there and do this. And then do that. Sorted. Which is why youth challenges are fun. You can't simply buy your way out. Yeah, I agree. I am loving the home save. The current home save might be the most fun I've ever had playing Football Manager. Because, and I've talked about it a little bit in the videos, but having players like Micah Beereth, who in every other save I've ever done, there's not a chance he's still in that team in League One. Not a chance. He doesn't even make it into the conference because we've replaced him. But the fact I'm being forced to stick with the youngsters, so much fun. Loving it. My downfall at home was at least in part tactical. Should have used 4-4-2 with Fernandez and Fabio playing together from the start. Not sure who or what any of that is. Just go attack him. He'll be fine. I did use it to break my rut, but I swapped back out. Okay. This streamer showdown was very tight and tactical. I worry they're raising the game. Tough times for me next time. It was very tight and tactical because I wasn't there hitting them for 6 every time they played me. It's going to look tight and tactical if you have 9 equally poor players playing each other. The fact that I am never going to be worried when I watch a final and not even the final, all the matches I watched last night in particular, the amount of time they spent button clicking on the pause screen. Oh, yes. Keep doing that. Bring that on. You are just making it too easy for me if that's how you're going to play the game. Please keep fiddling with stuff. Right. When I downloaded the home database, it wouldn't load. Yeah, it probably needs updating so that it works after the patch, which realistically I might not do. How hard do you think Streaming Showdown would be if they had 18 leagues? It wouldn't run. Simple as that, it just wouldn't run. I thought the showdown got very fiddly and less exciting to watch. Lots of people pausing and moving one player a few yards to one side every 5 minutes. Yeah, exactly. You're not going to get any of that nonsense when I'm back in it. It's going to be me picking a system, picking the players, sending them out there for 45 minutes, talking their face off of the opponent so they can't think, and forcing them into making mistakes. Is anyone getting every big team playing defensive and negative football when you... what? Yeah, I'm getting a lot of that. You've seen what Posh keep doing to me in non-league to legend. Still maintain the showdown should employ a 3 stoppages rule or something in the matches. No, I'm completely against anything like that. Any rule that restricts you, you know, it's Football Manager. It's not like it's a skill-based game. You win based purely on how well you manage your side. And as far as I'm concerned, anything that you can do in the game as a manager, you should be allowed to do in the showdown. I think it's a little bit... I don't agree with the rule that we're not allowed to hire our own coaches and we're not allowed to... you know, I think we should... If they were to say we can't use long throws, I think that's wrong. I think you should be able to do whatever you want. If you want to download tactics, download tactics. If you want to pretend like long throws aren't an issue and not learn how to defend against them, then you'll probably lose. But I think if it's something that you can do in the game, it's absolutely fair game to do in the showdown, as far as I'm concerned. And if you want to pause every 3 minutes, pause every 3 minutes. For example, Ches versus FNG. If FNG changed to a 4-1-2, we'll just call it a diamond. The Ches played wide and scored from across. Just a lot of faffing, isn't it? Just a lot of faffing. How would I set up versus a strikerless formation? 4-2-3-1 Gagen Press with a long throw instruction. The moment you start trying to counter your opposition, you've already lost. Let your opposition worry about you. I mean, that's basic sports psychology. If you're going in there to counter your opposition, you're already telling yourself and your team that the opposition is better than you and you need to counter them. You should go in there expecting to beat your opposition and let them worry about you. If I play my system well, let them worry about how they stop me, not the other way around. If Posh make it to the championship and everyone's vaccinated by the end of summer, would I travel for big away days? Probably not. I haven't been to an away game for years. Do you think Posh have a chance of staying up next season? Yes. Aim at the big lad from corners and long throws. Exactly. It's not rocket science. I think it makes it really boring to watch if you get too fiddly. In the playoff game, Tom FM said he channeled his LOLLUJO, played 4-2-3-1, and he beat Olcott. Then he changed it. Well, what was he thinking, numbskull? Just channel LOLLUJO again. Who is this guy, and do we want him? I mean, he does seem quite good. I haven't arranged this. So just the budget. Bring him in. In you come, lad. No idea why Ben had some weird two-man defence with 4 across the DM line. It was very weird. He was trying to counter Lee, that's why. Which is why he lost. He should have just focused on outplaying Lee. He had Messi in his team, for goodness sake. The tactic should have been, forget about how you counter SMS and make Lee worry about how he counters Messi. And Werner and whoever else he had, Calvert-Lewin. I fixed your Liverpool save in FM17 in part by playing... Who do you think will get the first knighthood in the home save? If it's not Harrison Davies, something went wrong with that boy's career. I think there's a tendency whenever you're going up against other people in any job to try and do something incredible, show off and not just do your thing well. Yeah, that's a real fault in human psychology that I don't fall down and do. I know what my strengths are and I play to them. Because ultimately, if I try and get into a button clicking competition with somebody, they've got years more experience button clicking than I am. They'll beat me at it. Bring them down to my level. Make it all about who's got the biggest lad at the corner. Try harder, run faster. Oh, that's terrible goalkeeping. Oh, it's a handball anyway. It's disallowed. Who do I think? Do you think you would have won the showdown? Yes. Easily. I think I could have taken Ben's team after the first leg of the quarterfinal and still gone on to win the showdown. They're playing 5D chess while Kev's playing checkers and wins. Exactly. Checkers is much easier than 5D chess. It's not an intelligence contest. And if it was, I'm winning that. Kev inspired me to do my own non-League legend. So I started with Dulwich Hamlet, took them to the Premier League, left to join Dortmund, and now a club legend at both clubs. Lovely. In my opinion, Pritchard deserves a knighthood, but he's not been there as long as Davies and isn't a regular player. He's a bench chap, although he does score lots of important goals. Have I challenged FNG yet as the interim champion? I mean, the onus is really on him to challenge me because I'm the actual champion. He's just the interim champion. I don't want to become interim champion. He wants to become champion. So the challenge goes the other way. But I'll be back in the showdown next season. If he's not there, it's because he's chicken. He knows where I am. If he wants to prove himself. He's played in 2 showdowns now. 2 that I've not been in. Somebody's afraid of Kev. Let's get Patterson on. Come on, Phoenix. Depending on how long home runs, Harrison Davies might have a shot at an all-time record LOLLUJO. Oh, I'm sure he will, yeah. He's scared after he saw what happened to Manny, and so he should be. Everyone should be scared after they've seen what happened to Manny. Or after what I've done to Zealand. They should all be afraid. They've all taken a pasting from me at one time or another. I've got the... have you noticed that they don't show the all-time league table anymore in the run-up to the showdowns? Do you know why they don't show the all-time league table anymore? Guess who's top of the all-time league table now? Mr. Never Won a League. Yeah, also never finished below 4th place. I have the highest ever points per game, the highest ever points total. And that's on the Saturday when I'm not even trying. John Boy, thank you for the sub. The new goalkeeper will get the all-time appearance record. He might do.
Reason I got back into FM.
We should do a streaming show in Champions Edition where you start 5-0 up. No, we should just get all 10 winners so far in, so I get 5 teams. But there's going to be a cat fight between you and Jack the other day on Twitter. What were we talking about? I mean, bearing in mind, it was all playing up for the fact that it was on Twitter. If we were actually upset with each other, it would have all been done by DM. So if you see us, if you ever see me squabbling with someone on Twitter, like someone you know I know, if it's just some numpty who's being an idiot, then I'll put them down and then block them. But if it's someone you know I know, then if it's on Twitter, it's all part of the act. It's all part of the show. Just like anything I say here is all part of the show. I don't actually think they're all numpties, just most of them. Including me and Ches. Yeah. Me and Ches get on fine. We raid each other all the time. Me and Ches didn't get on. Would we be raiding each other as often as we do? I do genuinely feel bad for Zealand in the showdown. It's like when a high-scoring striker comes on a £65 million transfer to the Premier League and can't convert. I mean, to be honest, Zealand's won it the second most times in history. I think there's a very strong argument that Zealand is the second best player in showdown history. Because he's won the league more times than anybody else. He's won the showdown the second most amount of times. He's probably right up there as one of the best points per game records. I don't think if I didn't exist, Zealand did have 4 or 5 titles under his belt. Chesnians make regular appearances in the stream. Exactly. Right, have we upset this guy? No, we haven't. That's all right then. Zealand's also the only person to beat me on Sunday. Over 2 legs, yeah. I think. Is that right? Is that true? Did he knock me out the time? No, that can't be true. Because the time he got knocked out by Tom and Tom won, I also got knocked out. I think by Matt? Or... I don't know. Oh, I've got another coaching badge. Let's try and do another one straight away. Give me coaching badges. Oh, it's so much fun being able to do coaching badges now. What are my thoughts on FNG winning the Streamer Showdown? Another FIFA player has won it. They also beat Zealand like 10-3 over 2 legs. I mean, how do I answer that? Congratulations to FNG. All 9 people in it last night were FIFA players. And all 9 people in it stream Football Manager regularly. So, I don't know. Maybe we should put that one to bed. Name someone in the Streamer Showdown who doesn't play FIFA. I don't think you're going to be able to. Because most people play both games. Because they're both fun. And they appeal to the same people. It's just he pays his bills playing FIFA, whereas some of us pay our bills playing Football Manager. I got knocked out in support, Zealand, so he could have been... Yeah, agree. So someone else must have beaten me. I don't know who it was. What's the big thing about FIFA players being in? If they add something to it, Ben wouldn't... And the thing you've got to remember... There is not a single FIFA person who's got in without also being someone who streams a lot of Football Manager. Do you know the reason Manny's not been in it for 6 months? Because Manny hasn't streamed Football Manager for 6 months. Why is Spencer not in it anymore? Because Spencer isn't streaming Football Manager at the moment. The big guys who've been in it are in it when they're streaming Football Manager. And if they stop streaming Football Manager, they stop getting invited to the Showdown. Likewise, if me or Zealand or Ben stopped streaming Football Manager, we wouldn't get invited to the Showdown anymore because it's for Football Manager streamers. Work the Space didn't play in like the first 4 because he wasn't streaming at the time. He was only making YouTube videos. So it's just because people are familiar with someone because on YouTube maybe they make FIFA stuff. Ches has streamed more Football Manager in the last month than anybody else, I think. In fact, we can look at that stat. Hold on. So I find this stuff really interesting. If we go to Sully Gnome, which gives you all of the Twitch stats. If you have a look at Football Manager. So Football Manager, most watched. If we go by English viewers. Ian Moondog, thank you for the sub. So if we go to the last 30 days, stream time for... Hold on. Have I got myself confused here? So if you look at who's had the... There you go. Most watch time. That's what we're looking for. So most watch time in the last 30 days playing Football Manager. There's Zealand, Showdown, Ben, me, Ches, Work the Space, Lee, Matt, FNG is in there. So these people are streaming Football Manager. This is how much they've streamed Football Manager in the last 30 days. There's no one who gets to play in it who's not on here streaming Football Manager. Ches has streamed 72 hours of Football Manager in the last month. There's only Foxy who's streamed more than him, who was in the Showdown. So, yeah, he's not in as a FIFA player. He's in as a Football Manager streamer. Bad Aimbot, thank you very much for the sub. Ches is in there. Robbie is Robbie for the Showdown. Robbie's been asked. He's been busy. F&G only streams 16 hours. That would be mostly Showdown, right? I don't know. I don't know if that even covers yesterday, to be honest. Does it cover yesterday? Yeah, so I mean he's streamed plenty of football, mate. He's looks like he's doing it like once a week. He's doing a Football Manager stream, which that's streaming Football Manager. Do I know if Moz has ever been asked? I don't know. I mean, Ben does all the asking. I would be surprised. Looking at this, I'd be really surprised if he hasn't, because he's in the top 20. So I would say it's almost certain that he has, but I don't know. Ask Mozza. I think everyone would love Robbie in it. I'd love Robbie in it. Robbie would be awesome. To be clear, I don't care who's on it. I'm just going to watch it. I'm just going to watch it if Kev is there and only keep an eye on it when Kev is not. Sounds good to me. The more numbers I pull, the more power I have in the tournament. You know, we've got sponsors and stuff now. Bum 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 bum. Oh, my knee aches. Who is Robbie? Robbie Knox. YouTuber. Used to be on Soccer AM. Now he does Jackmate's podcast most of the time, I think. I don't really know. Just makes awesome YouTube videos. First I made, when would I play a basketball game styled after FM? Nope. No interest in basketball at all. Had to watch Zealand's stream last weekend. It was unhinged, all that music and shouting. I confess, I've only ever watched Zealand for about 5 minutes after Ben dissed me in the El Jurassico game on Saturday. I stormed off, watched Zealand, subbed to him, and then left because it was just... It's a bit much for an old man like me. If that's what the cool kids are after, I'm afraid this is a place for those of you who aren't cool to hang out. I've been wrong in my intro all this time. I can't do what he does. I wouldn't want to do what he does. I couldn't watch what he does. I'm too old. Am I friends with Jackmate? I don't think we've ever spoken to each other. I've almost knocked him over before by mistake. I don't know if at the time he had any awareness of who I was. Probably not. But we were in the Summer in the City green room like 2 years ago, and I came marching around the corner, not really aware of what's going on the way I do, and kind of bumped into Jack, literally like shoulder into shoulder. Oh, sorry. And then just carried on my way. But yeah, I've never spoken to him. I don't really speak to people. I'm everyone who's ever seen, all the other YouTubers who've ever seen me behind the scenes at one of these events must think I'm a proper weirdo, because I just sit there not talking to anyone. Can you explain what Summer in the City is for us non-Brits in the chat? It's like the British version of VidCon. So it's just a YouTube festival where loads of YouTubers go and do meet and greets and talk on panels and flog their merch, and loads of teenage girls get very excited about it. It's generally the gist. Dun, 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 dun. There's a British VidCon. Yeah, but it's rubbish. And it's only been going 2 years. And did I mention it's rubbish? Summer in the City, this last year would have been the 11th year, I think, of Summer in the City. Whereas VidCon did happen in London last year in February. It was the last event I went to before COVID. And it was only the second time it had ever been in London. And it's VidCon in London's a much smaller event than Summer in the City. Bum, 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 bum. Girls did hate VidCon. Yeah, I took my kids to, because they like to come along to all these events. They love Summer in the City. But VidCon, VidCon last year, we got an Airbnb to the other side of the river from the XL. And I went over early because I had meetings and stuff and bits and bobs that I had to do. And I got them passes and met up with them at lunchtime. And they'd been there about 20 minutes when I met up with them. And they were already sat in the food court area of VidCon, munching on £8 a pot pasta, telling me they were ready to leave. And they just went back to the house. And that was it. It was both the girls and Lucy's boyfriend. The three of them were in there for probably an hour and a half between the three of them. They were just, there's nothing going on there. Have I seen KSI mock autism? I haven't. Is this a recent thing? I've got another reason to have him off my Christmas card list. Because I already have a few banked up from over the years. This is a gentleman's and ladies club curve, not a rave like Z's streams. I like that. We just like to hang out. That's why we have the chilled music on. Just hang out, have a little chat. There's a bit of Football Manager going on in the background just to give us all a reason to be here so it's not weird. So we know, if anyone asks, we're here for the Football Manager, but we all know we're not here for the Football Manager. We're just here to have a big old chat. And the Football Manager is just how we can explain to the people we live with that it's not weird. This is what we're doing. Saying that those City 19 wasn't the best and we don't speak. Yeah, the Winter in the City thing. I mean, that was the ice rink summed that entire thing up. They billed the event as having an ice rink. And it was just one of these ones that doesn't actually have any ice on. It was just like a plastic thing smaller than a penalty area that you could wear ice skates on, but it wasn't actually any ice. And there's a Christmas tree you could have your photo taken in front of. It was such an awful event. But I think they learned I hope they learned from it. Clate's streams are quite chilled and relaxed as well. I mean, no coincidence that me and Clate's are the teachers. Football Manager in the background is the alibi to not land in Just Chatting and compete with half-naked girls. I could compete with half-naked girls. I think I've got more to offer than half-naked girls. Basically, KSI fell backwards screaming, "I'm autistic." Yeah, he's just a twazzock, isn't he? Ah. Well. I mean, I know people will make excuses for him because they like him. I'm not going to go on a rant about it because if there's one thing that I know won't get me anywhere in my career, it's starting a war with someone like KSI. But if he can sit and yell and mock himself by calling himself autistic, are there any words that I'm allowed to use all of a sudden? Or is there one line for one thing and one line for something else? Ridiculous. I'm just going to sit here quietly for a minute so I don't say anything I'll regret. Fairly new here. Notice you support autism charities. Do you have any family connections? Yeah, my son's autistic, and I was going through the diagnosis process for myself, but then COVID happened. So, as my as my GP so learnedly put it, I might have a little bit of Asperger's. Not at all politically correct, but I knew what they meant. What word would I want to use? See, don't be Wang trying to twist what I've just said. No point did I say I wanted to use any words. I made the point of, if I sat here and said the N-word, then there would be uproar, but he can sit there and just throw autistic around, and apparently that's okay. And neither of them are okay. They're both not acceptable. So, Benji just called me the luckiest man in the FM community on Streamer Showdown. I mean, you make your own luck, don't you? As someone in a similar position, it's nice to see a bit of representation. Awesome. I'm about to finish my first season in the home save. Final game of the season is me against second place in the league, who are on equal points. Never had a game this tense in FM before. Nice. It would have been fine if he never shouted the autistic. Well, yeah, because obviously that's the bit that's the issue. I mean, that doesn't even make any sense. It wouldn't have been offensive if he didn't say the offensive thing. God, blimey. Oh dear. I'm letting the chat just dry itself up for a second, and then I'll jump back in again when we've moved on to a different topic. Kev, read my last two comments. Do I want to? Not defending him. See, it worries me that you started with not defending him, because it feels like you're about to defend him. Not defending him, however, people only saying part of the story is what makes people angry. I believe context is key. I mean, I couldn't care less about the context. If he said it, he's wrong. That it is as simple as that. There is no context that makes it okay. And again, if we were having the argument the other way round, as I hinted towards before, then would any of you be sat there going context is key? Or have we reached a spectacularly dumb situation as a society where you're allowed to be offensive in some ways but not in others? Fred, thank you very much for the bits. Baked beans on Weetabix. One day. I keep buying Weetabix, meaning to do it, then I keep eating it. So I've just decided I really like Weetabix again. If you watch it, you can see it's wrong. I don't know why they didn't cut it out. But yeah, that's the other thing. If it's on a pre-recorded video, that means someone has. It's not just a slip of the tongue thing. It's a slip of the tongue that has then been okayed as, yeah, but it's completely fine. So it's not actually a slip of the tongue. It's something that's okay to say. And it comes back down to, why is that word even in his vocabulary in that context? I made the same argument when people were trying to defend PewDiePie when he said the N-word. Oh, it just slipped out. He didn't do it on purpose. Well, I'm 38 and it's never slipped out because it's not in my vocabulary. So that's not a defense, because if it can just slip out, that means it's something you could say. Saying it on camera and being the defensive, I didn't mean to say it on camera. That doesn't make it less offensive. You still said it, you cretin. Oh, my word. Scott, thank you very much for the prime. What did I have for dinner? What did I have for dinner? Pie. I had a pie. Thoughts on Z choking? Ah, bless him. He's used to it, isn't he? His natural habitat. Is it just me, or have Weetabix gotten drastically smaller? I think that's just you growing up, I'm afraid, Emily. I went through the same thing with wagon wheels. Any chicken skin and chips recently? No, I wanted a KFC over the weekend, but with Anna not here, and they don't deliver in my area, there was no way to get one. So I had to go through a Showdown where they were talking about KFC all weekend and not have a KFC, which I think is utterly unreasonable. Did I watch Elimination Chamber? Not only did I not watch it, I hadn't even remembered it was on. Was that last night? Or was it the week before? I'm so uninterested in WWE. When was it? Don't really care. Can you explain the difference between British pie and American pie? American pie is not a pie. It's like a flan or I would say a flan, a tart. Whereas a pie in Britain, where pies were created, a pie is a filling encased in pastry, which can be either sweet or savoury, and you'd have pastry all around it. And it wouldn't have loads of cream and stuff on. Am I planning on doing 10 years in the future for Non-League Legend? Probably 5. I doubt we'll do 10. We'll probably do 5. Week before, Money in the Bank got cashed in. Oh, yeah, I heard about that. Yeah. Isn't that just to get the title onto Lashley for WrestleMania? Isn't Lashley winning the title tonight, did I hear? If you can't have it with chips and gravy, then it isn't a pie. I mean, you wouldn't want like apple pie with chips and gravy. Am I still doing intermittent fasting? No, I stopped that a couple of weeks ago because I was eating too much junk when I was doing it. So I now have the Huel drinks for breakfast, and then the Huel things that you eat with a spoon, the Huel meal things for lunch, and a Huel bar. So pretty much my first 2 meals of the day are just Huel, and then I have what I want for dinner, basically, which 4 nights of the week is gusto. So I'm still in the situation where I only have to think about what I'm having 3 times a week. So even if I balls it up all 3 times, it's not that far wrong. But yeah, intermittent fasting, because I was ending up having to have so much food in the window, I was filling it up with like hot cross buns and bags of hula hoops and toast. And just, it got to the point where I was eating when I wasn't hungry just to get the calories in so I wouldn't be hungry later. And it just seemed really counterproductive. So I just took 400 calories out and made it into breakfast instead. Did I know that Kane likes pies? What Kane the wrestler? Kane the footballer? Who are we talking about? Replied to someone on the latest second channel video, didn't know why you weren't uploading weightless videos. And they responded with saying you lack accountability. What an idiot. I've had to block a couple of people. It was probably the same people I've been blocking on Twitter today. Who, someone said something like, why no update on the Fit by 40 thing this week? And I said, because last time I did an update, it got 6,000 views, and that's not enough to justify it as content. So it's not content at the moment. I'll upload, you know, when I can do a really impressive looking before and after picture and get people clicking on it, then I'll do an update. But fat man loses £1.50 pound isn't clickbait. And I can't do that week on week on week. And they were like, oh, so it's just cop out then. No, it's not a cop out. It's really boring content. Ah. Will I make the clips channel? Probably not. I just don't think there's much point. I don't think there's much upside. Looking at how many views LOLLUJO Live's getting, I think what I'm more likely, because bearing in mind YouTube clips are on the way. They're not quite with us yet, but YouTube clips are coming. So there will come a time in the near future where we'll be able to take clips out of the stream replays on YouTube the same way, or on any YouTube video. You'll be able to take clips out in the same way you can take clips out of Twitch streams. So, and they'll then become searchable in the algorithm separately, so they don't need to be separate content. So like the TNS game where we won the league with Laneckley could have been a clip, and we could clip that out, make that searchable, and then when people go there, it takes them to the full stream, but to the right point of the video, so they can watch the clip, and then it counts as a view for the video. So it'll actually be better to do it that way around, I think. Clearly, some people still don't understand this is my business. I know. I mean, have I not made that clear enough in the last couple of videos? Losing weight isn't what the TV makes it look like. It's a long and boring haul. Yeah, exactly. Nobody's interested in losing weight. They're interested in once you've lost weight. There's 2 points they're interested. When you're at your fattest and you show them your before pictures and you tell them you're going to lose weight, and then everybody's there to say, yeah, you can do it. And then they want to check in again 2 years later when you've lost the weight, and you show them the after picture and you tell them how you did it. Nobody wants to watch week 13 of a slow and steady weight loss plan of, yeah, I did a daily calorie deficit of like 400 calories a day this week. I've lost a pound. Went for like an extra 20-minute walk to what I normally do. And I've decided to stop buttering my sandwich if I'm having jam on it. It's not interesting. You need to buy some huge trousers and stand in one leg. That's a good idea. I'm interested in the process, but not interested in a full weekly video, just updates. But where would those updates be? That's the thing. Because I can't put a 1 minute weight loss update in a video about comparing renting and buying, because that video is the type of video that's designed to bring people into the channel to see the new type of content. You can't just stick a weight loss segment in that video. I can't upload a 1 minute video. Maybe make a Snapchat. I have Snapchat, but I don't want to use it. I mean, people, not everything has to be content. People can find out when I'm done. I think that's the easiest way to do it. Community page. Yeah, I'm not doing TikTok until they give me my username. They know. They've been told. How long have I set myself? Well, the clickbaity title was Fit by 40, which gives me another year and a bit yet. But there isn't really a goal. It's very similar to how I've grown on YouTube. I'm going to shrink in real life the way I've grown on YouTube. I just want to weigh less. At the start of every month when I weigh myself, I want to weigh less than I did the month before. And as long as that happens for the foreseeable future, then I'm happy. Renting versus buying video was class, even though I just bought a house. Yeah, but if you're going to live in it a long time, then, you know, you're good. You having a week of streaming led to me going from a LOLLUJO YouTube virgin to being 34 hours deep. Amazing. Love that. Welcome to YouTube. Basically, like you're doing some videos, and what you do when you make a video, then split it up and you say, that's too long a sentence for me to read on stream. I can't keep up with it. I'm interested to know how you used to do the financial stuff. I used to be a mortgage advisor myself. Oh, as in I was going to say, I think I explained everything in the video, didn't I? You're not asking for more information. You're saying you were interested because of that. I think that's what you're saying. Because I pretty much gave everything I remember in that video. So if you want more detail, I don't think I have any anymore. I stopped being a financial advisor in 2008. So I am a long time out of practice. I had to do more research for that video than I've had to do in a long time, because so much has changed since I was a financial advisor. Back when I was still selling mortgages, it was just as in my last year as a mortgage advisor, you could still do 125% mortgages with Northern Rock. Northern Rock don't exist anymore. 125% mortgages don't exist anymore. Everything's changed. Did your video yesterday factor in normal bills when buying or renting? What do you mean by normal bills? Because they're not going to be any different, are they? Like, you don't pay any more for your gas and electric, whether you're renting or buying. Most people stopped doing financials in 2008. Rough year. Yep. It's when my first business went belly up. I went back to uni because I realised I wasn't going to be a financial advisor for a while. So I went and did my computer science degree and became a teacher. That's why Northern Rock don't exist anymore. It certainly is. Ah, dear. It certainly is. But they helped a whole generation of people into negative equity, so, you know, there's that. Nidaros, thank you for the Prime Gaming. I have a striker with 8 finishing, so I played him as a winger to start with. After a few injuries, you got to start as an advanced forward, 4 goals so far. Yeah, ignore finishing. The finishing attribute is just ignore it. People get too caught up on finishing. Zealand made a video on it. It's not even in like the top 10 important attributes for a striker. I wouldn't get the views, but I'd love to see a video where you discuss the software you made for your dissertation. Yeah, you've kind of hit the nail on the head by saying it wouldn't get the views. I've kind of got myself into a position on the vlog channel because so many of the videos on there are sponsored now, and I'd ideally like to get to the point where every video is sponsored, because then it fully justifies the switch from daily content to weekly. In the weeks where I have a sponsor, I make more money than I used to make doing daily videos. So I would like to get to the point where I can say, yeah, I'm now completely correct switching to weekly content. But in order to bring sponsors on, you have to please the sponsors when they're there. So certainly every time I have a Skillshare week, I have to make sure it's a big clickable video. And then the ones in between, I want to be big and clickable. So when new potential sponsors are looking at the channel, they're not going, oh, that one's only got 5,000 views. Ooh, we won't sponsor him. His views aren't guaranteed. I need every video on that channel to be hitting 20, 25,000 views. Could you do a video on stocks maybe? Am I into that stuff? It depends how you mean by into it. I mean, I invest in index funds, low cost, whole market tracking index funds. I have no interest at all in trying to like day trading or timing the market or picking individual stocks or anything like that. I don't have the time or the desire to get into any of that. As far as I'm concerned with investing, just put money away, invest it in the stock market, leave it there forever. And then when you eventually go back to it, there'll be much more money there than there was when you put it in. That's pretty much, in a nutshell, how I invest money. I've got investments in the S&P 500, so have I. It's a very good index fund to start with, the S&P 500, because you get quite a large exposure to the likes of Amazon and Apple and Tesla and all the big cool stocks that people like to buy. They're all within the S&P 500. So if you want to invest in the cool stuff but don't want to risk getting it wrong, an S&P 500 tracker is a good place to begin. How about a video of you, Sheepdog, Anna and Pab set up for a podcast? And show Pab how to put the adverts in. There's just not enough to it, I don't think. I think what I'm doing this week is a day in the life of me working. So it'll be almost vlog style. A lot of people have asked for that, just to see how I actually go through a day's work. So I could choose to do that on Friday and then show the podcast as part of it. because it's not a full video. The podcast, it's literally, I sit at this desk talking to this microphone. We connect to each other on Discord, record it on Audacity, send all our files to Pab, and he edits it together. That's all there is to it, really. How do you invest in those funds? Is it through a specific platform? There's lots of platforms you can do. If you're in the UK, I would say if you're in the UK and under 40, pick a company you can get a lifetime ISA through, because you can invest up to £4,000 a year into a lifetime ISA. You get a 25% bonus off the government for everything you invest, as long as you don't withdraw it for anything other than buying a house or retiring. But you should be putting it in for the long. If you're investing in the stock market, you should be in for the long term anyway. So that shouldn't be not being able to withdraw it without having to give the bonus back shouldn't be a problem. I have my lifetime ISA with Hargreaves Lansdown, but there's other places are available. And then you just send them your money and tell them what funds you want to buy into. Do you record the podcast or just audio? There's no video, it's just audio. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum. Long-term investments. Kev has diamond hands. Kev doesn't have a pension, so if Kev wasn't investing long-term, then old Kev would be skint. I have what's Streamlabs doing? I'm confused. I have 4 years worth of teacher pension, and that's it as far as a pension for me is concerned. So I toyed with the idea of getting a private pension when I went self-employed, but decided because of how erratic my income is, although the idea is I'm not going to touch any money I put aside. Who knows? YouTube could close down tomorrow and I might need to get hold of that money. So putting it in a pension is a little bit too locked away. But investing it into the stock market means that it's effectively locked. As far as I'm concerned, that I'm not taking that money out until I retire. But if the does hit the fan, then I can get it, which I wouldn't be able to do if it was in a pension. You mean you won't be doing FM videos in your 80s? I might be. Who knows? You're probably better off privately investing rather than private pension, being self-employed. I mean, there's tax benefits to doing it in a pension, but yeah, for me, so it's similar to the whole argument about whether you should buy or rent. In an ideal world, you buy a house. In the ideal world, you have a pension. But for me, the flexibility is more important than doing it the most tax efficient way. What if the stock market crashes? Then it will go back up again like it always does. I mean, in the long term, the market always goes up. If you look at, I forget what the statistic is. I forget how many years you have to go. It might be 20, it might be 25, but I think it's 20. If you take any 20-year period of the stock market as a whole, any 20-year period in history, it's always up. And it's always up considerably. It averages like 10% a year of return. The trick is when it crashes, you don't sell. That falls into the category of trying to time the market. The trick to the stock market is put your money in and leave it in and try not to even look. There you go, Tyler from Canada. Stocks have risen 10% every year for the last 90 years, folks. There you go. What do you think about part buy, part rent scheme and getting a house or a flat? I think it's I would just view that the same as buying a house. It's just a way to get a house you wouldn't be able to afford otherwise. But similar idea. If you're going to live there for 5+ years, then do it. If you're not, then just rent. When the stock market crashes, you buy more. See, I mean, again, in an ideal world, but no one's got a crystal ball. I just pay a set amount in every month, and I don't vary that whether the market's up or down. I just pay in the same amount. If the market crashed next week, I would still put in the same amount that I would have put in if it soared, because I know in the long term it's going to get me probably 8 to 10% return over the next annually over the next however long. But that's the thing, any money that you put into stocks, you have to be sure you don't need to get it for at least 5 years. Eighth wonder of the world's compound interest. Yeah, absolutely. I was trying to explain this to Lucy the other day, my oldest daughter, for those of you who are not aware. She's 19, and I did a few calculations. I forget the exact numbers. We sat there with a compound interest calculator. So I'm trying to convince her to start putting some money aside each month into the stock market, because she still lives at home with her mum. So, but she's working. She's a trainee nurse, so she gets a bursary, which is like, it's better than my first salary and my first job years ago. She has spare money. So I told her, look, if she started putting away, in fact, let's run the numbers now, because it's fun. Compound interest calculator. So if she put £100, so if she started from zero, let's say, I don't know, 10% return. She's 19 now. So let's take it until age 30. If she put £100 a month in now until she's 30, by the time she hits 30, she'll have nearly 24,000. And this is where the magic really happens. Let's take that 24,000 and now leave it in until she's 65. So another 35 years of never even adding to it. And by the time she's 65, she's got nearly £800,000, all from just paying in 24,000 at £100 a month when she was living at home with her mum and could afford it. By the time she retires, she'll have that amount of money sat there. It's just, I wish someone had sat me down when I was that age and explained compound interest to me properly. By the time I was old enough to understand it, I didn't have the money to do it because I was already married with kids, and finding the spare cash is much harder then. Never heard of compound interest before. The basic idea of compound interest is, I think it had it in the illustration on there. So each year, so in year one of this, we're starting with a balance of 24,000. That balance of 24,000 earns us £2,500 in interest, meaning our new balance is 26,500, which then earns interest. But because the balance is now bigger, the interest is more. And as long as you don't take the money out each year, the balance is increasing because you're earning interest and keeping it in there. So because the balance is higher each year, the amount that you're earning each year increases. So that first year, when you're earning 2,500 interest, by the time you get to the 35th year, you're earning £75,000 a year in interest because your balance has got bigger. And that's the real beauty of compound interest. You're earning interest on interest on interest on interest. Put it in, leave it in, don't think about it. Where does one open an account with compound interest? Any account's going to have compound interest as long as it has an interest rate. The trick then is finding the best return on it. So even if you just put it in a bank savings account and got, I don't know, I don't have one. I don't even have a cash savings account. I just keep spare cash in my current account because rates are so low. There just seems to be no point having a separate account for it. How old do you have to be to start investing the way you do? I think to be able to do it without parents' permission, you need to be 18. I think you'd probably, I don't actually know. You'd probably need your parents to help you open an account if you were under 18. But if you're over 18, you do it whenever you want to do it. I don't use a financial advisor because I am a qualified financial advisor. That was my first career. And I don't really see the benefit of having a financial advisor. What are they going to tell me? I can read, so I can work out where to put my money to keep it tax efficient. I know I don't want to take any crazy risks. Under 18 in the UK, you can get parents to open up a junior ISA. There you go. See, Rob's in with the knowledge. That's the sort of thing a financial advisor would have helped me with. But then again, if I'd have wanted to know, I could have Googled it. But I'm a monster. I've not put money aside for the kids, mainly because their grandparents have. So I've always been of the view that their grandparents have put money aside for them since they were little. So I'll just do it for my kids' kids. So for my grandkids, I'll just open them an account when they're born, stick some money in it, and just pass it on an extra generation at a time. I need to invest in this compound interest thing. Everybody should. In all seriousness, if you're interested in finding out more, rather than me who doesn't really know, and that isn't what this stream is about, there is a book. What is the guy called? I think it's called something like The Simple Path to Wealth. Yeah, that's the book. The Simple Path to Wealth. I'm not going to go on Amazon because that shows my postcode. There you go. This is the book you want. The Simple Path to Wealth by J.L. Collins. That gives you everything you need to know. Nicely simplified. So that would be the book I recommend reading as a starting point. Didn't realize I used to be a financial advisor. How can you change career? The financial crisis in 2007, 2008. I was a mortgage advisor, so subprime lending was a bit of a problem. This isn't a financial advice stream. I've been scammed here. I'm sorry. I've led you all on. It's not a financial advice stream. There are a lot of YouTube vids on certain topics. At the start last year, I took a big interest in investing. There you go. Yeah, it's a good starting point. Graham Stephan's good. Andre Gic, I think his name is. He's good. Although he's a bit crypto obsessed. But his fundamentals are solid. They're two that I watch quite regularly. I'm back. What have I missed? Just been watching The Walking Dead. Yikes, does that still exist? We're winning lots of football matches. Did I pass my CMAP? I did. I am CMAP and FPC qualified. Do I have any Bitcoin? I have a little bit of Bitcoin. I have like £300 in Bitcoin at the moment. Which is like watching a roller coaster, watching Bitcoin go woo, woo, woo. That's literally just play money. I wanted enough in for if it goes crazy, I'll be happy. But I had to sit there and work out, right, how much am I actually willing to just throw away if this tanks again? But I'm still putting enough in for if it goes on another massive run, I'll be happy. So I ended up putting a couple of £100 in like a month ago. Just, it's quite fun watching it. Again, that's money I'll just leave there now. I keep hearing people talk about one day Bitcoin will get to $1 million. Well, if it does, I'll be laughing because I've put a couple of £100 in when it was like, I don't know, $35,000. I wouldn't have the composure nor patience to invest in crypto. To me, it's just again, I'm not trying to time the market, beat the market. I'm not trying to do anything clever. It's just a place where I've put a couple of £100 and I'll leave it there. And every now and again, I'll go and check how much it's worth. At the moment, I'm checking most days because it is, like I say, it's a roller coaster. But I'm not, you know, it's not the difference between me retiring early or not. It's not the difference between me buying a house or not. It's not the difference between me being able to pay the bills or not. It's just a little bit of play money, really. I don't drink, I don't smoke. This is Anna's lecture that she gives when people talk about how much she spends on video games. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't go out. It's my one thing. My one thing, apparently at the moment, is I stuck a couple £100 in Bitcoin. I'm waiting for Bitcoin to crash so I can invest a couple of $100. I mean, it went on a pretty significant dive over the last 3 or 4 days. It knocked about a quarter off its value over the last few days, but it's recovered a little bit today. It's popped back up about halfway again. Will I be in the next stream of Showdown? Yes. What do I think about the rumours John Nash invented Bitcoin? I don't know who John Nash is. Should I know who John Nash is? Where did I invest? What? Bitcoin? I had a Coinbase account that I'd had for years, so I just put some more money in that. I had like 7 cents worth of Bitcoin from like 2014. So I had a Coinbase account from way back when. So I just added some extra money to that and bought a few more. Delcroix needs a rest. Send him on a little holiday then. I just see it as a long-term savings account that's better than a traditional bank savings account. Yeah, exactly. Why is GameStop up again? The whole game, I mean, I don't get into messing around with individual stocks. My understanding was there was lots of like institutional investors who were shorting it. And then some joker on Reddit decided to manipulate the price upwards with the power they had on Reddit. So the guys who were shorting it all had to sell, or buy to be able to sell their short position, which kept driving the price up even further. And it was just a whole heap of market manipulation from what I can gather. I bought £400 of Bitcoin a few years ago. It's up to 2,756. Nice. Do I know what Earth 2 is? Outside of comic books, no. Really interested in investing, just don't know where to start. That book would be a good place to start. All those YouTube channels I was talking about before. What's the best compound interest investment to invest in? I mean, it really depends on your personal circumstances. I don't want to get into the realms of giving in personalized advice, because you need to make sure you've like taking care of the basics first. You've paid off any high interest debt that you've got. There's no point in investing money if you've got a credit card balance, for example, because you're probably paying 20% on a credit card balance, whereas you're not going to get 20% back off of investing, and compound interest works both ways. So your first step would be to pay off any high interest debt that you've got. Basically I would say any debt you're paying more than like 3 or 4% on, you should be getting rid of. And then you want to make sure you've got an emergency fund, so you don't have to go and use the credit card again. So you want somewhere between, depending on the rule of thumb, some people say 3 to 6 months wages immediately accessible. I tend to keep a couple of months income, or a couple of months expenses, not income. I tend to keep a couple of months expenses available immediately as cash. So if everything does go wrong, I've got a little bit of breathing space. And then you just invest whatever else you've got on top of that. I would say if you're young and you're in the UK, a lifetime ISA is the best place to start, because you get the government bonus. And then figure it out from there. Go and do some research. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Do, 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 do. Turn this into a financial channel. I'm sorry. I enjoy talking about this. It's not doing my reputation any hard, is it? They've been calling me the richest man in FM for weeks, and now we're sat here talking about investment, talking about our investment portfolios. You don't get this from Zealand. Oh dear. There you go. I've been told off by Tyler. I have 3 months' expenses. Yeah, I mean, I guess I probably should have a little more, but I have 2 months. I'm comfortable with 2 months because the thing is, I have multiple income. I think it's a little bit different for me as well because I've got multiple income streams that are unlikely to all go away at once. I've got my YouTube, I've got my Twitch, I've got my book royalty. Anna works, so I think having 2 months of our expenses is probably fine for us. But it always depends on your circumstances. Till somebody on Twitter decides to cancel me. I mean, people have tried before and they don't get very far, do they? I can't imagine ever being dumb enough to do something spectacular enough to get myself cancelled. I don't think I have any extreme enough views one way or the other. I don't talk politics. I don't talk religion. I'm not a scumbag. I don't say or think or feel any of the things that people get cancelled for. So I think I'll probably be pretty safe from ever being cancelled. Yeah, my food choices are about as weird as they get. And even that I'm going to monetize because I am going to do this cookbook, that's for sure. My final thoughts on the past streamer tournament is there's some surprises for me. The biggest surprise was probably Tom just messing up as far as he did. He had a better squad than his exit suggested. We had been going really well, but now we're up against Dundee, who are the massive odds-on favourites to go up this season. So I suspect this isn't going to go well today, but we're looking solid for the playoffs, which is good. A nip slip. I mean, I might be nip slipping now and you don't know. You can't see my nipples. I've got multiple layers over my nipples. How's the weight loss going? I mean, it's slowed as you would expect. But we're still plugging away at it. It's going to be a long old process. It's different from whenever I've tried to do it before. I've adjusted my calorie intake up a little. I'm now aiming to just lose £1 a week. Before I was on a deficit where I was aiming to lose £2 a week, because that would have got me down to 13.5 stone by my 40th birthday, which is my BMI goal weight. But thinking about it in the cold light of day when it's not January and everyone's hyped about it, I'm never going to be 13.5 stone. I'd look like an end stage cancer patient at 13.5 stone. There's too much of me. If I can get down to 16, 17 stone, I think I'll look pretty fit and healthy. The big feedback I got from the big feedback I got from the video where I did my before thing is everyone saying, you don't look the weight you are. Yeah, it's because I'm 6'2" and there's a lot of me. Not that I'm muscular, but I'm very wide. So I don't need to get down to that kind of weight. So yeah, I'll just try and lose £1 a week and keep it going. Eat lots of Huel. Showdown was missing my nonsense distraction talks. And there was no bells, was there? What have I got against Spurs? Nothing. I've managed Spurs probably more times than anybody. They're just an easy target, aren't they? Some teams are just an easy target. I mean, I diss Arsenal constantly, and I'm managing them at the moment. Not sponsored by Huel. No, I'd like to be. If anyone from Huel is watching, I would love a Huel sponsorship. Because I genuinely like your product. But I am not currently sponsored by them. I don't think they do sponsorships. I did have a nose around on their website, but it doesn't seem like they do. How was getting my COVID shot? It was not pleasant. I had arm pain for a few days. I felt pretty rough for a day or two. I feel fine now. How much do I pay for Huel? I get like a month's supply for it's like 70 quid, 60 quid. Which sounds expensive until you realise that's like 28 lunches for 60 quid. So it's like about £2 a lunch. So it's less than a meal deal. I'm the guy who offered to cut your lawn and sponsor you a few months back. Offer still on the table. I'll fly over and mow. I am interested because now we've got a garden we care about. We are going to need to look into cutting the lawn soon. So you might have to. We've just had a late equaliser against Dundee, boys and girls. Did I do FM20 save of Southend? I don't think I did Southend in FM20. I have been at Southend a couple of times, definitely. Stephen with the goal. Any more swing ball action? We're playing it most days. Andy's loving swing ball. It's my daily exercise now, a bit of swing ball. The lawn's now a major swing ball venue. Yeah, definitely. We'll be having a big swing ball tournament tomorrow afternoon, which I'll win again because I am the greatest swing ball player in history. What symptoms did I have with my COVID jab? Mine was tiredness and arm was in pain. Yeah, pretty much that. I had some real issues with my legs swelling as well, which I was quite panicky towards the end of last week that I had like a blood clot until I realised it was in both of my legs. And then I thought, oh God, is this heart failure? Or is this the end? I got congestive heart failure or something. I was Googling all sorts of things about why my legs had swollen up so far, to the point where like they were tight on my jeans. And in the end, I was like, yeah, this could be a serious like blood pressure complication or something. This could be my kidneys failing. Who knows what's going on here? And then the next day it was fine. And it's been fine since. So I'm assuming it was something to do with the vaccine. Having symptoms after the shot is great. It means your immune system is working as it should. Good, good, good. Bet it's nice swing ball for something. Bet it be nice for swing ball for something, and you know. Oh, I mean, I don't know why I struggled so much with that sentence. My word. Yeah, Amy's here this weekend, so we'll be having some major swing ball action this weekend. Google any symptoms and it will tell you you're dying and you have a week to live. Yeah, I am the worst for doing that as well. Anytime I feel anything wrong, Anna tries to take my phone off me, rightly so, because I am awful for discovering that I'm about to die. I think Penefley have already been knocked out of this, which is a shame. Yeah, knocked out by Wraith. How are they doing? Second in the Welsh Premier. TNS are back to dominating again. Can we get the one-armed swan now? Let's try and get all of our boys that we wanted. Ugh. Quite, that's a lot of money. I mean, we've got money, so it's not a massive issue. And Dante Casanova, where is he? Where is he? Has he gone to a real football club? Am I being thick here? Nova. There he is. He is there. Don't know what I was doing wrong. See if any of these boys want to come now. Oh, why is my phone lighting up? Kev, I've got Amazon Gaming. How do I gift you a sub? There's a button. If you just click on the sub button, it should give. There should be a way to do it through Prime Gaming. You'll have to link up your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account if you haven't already. But once you've done that, if you click on the subscribe button, it should give you the option to subscribe for free. Thank you for asking. Kev's a hypochondriac. It's not that I'm a hypochondriac as such. It's that I like to understand things. I like information. This is how I try and explain it to Anna. If my computer doesn't work, I'll Google why it's not working. If I want to make a perfect omelette, I'll Google how to make the perfect omelette. It's my go-to reaction about everything. If there's something that I'm like, oh, I don't understand what's happening here, I will always go to the internet and find out. The only problem is when you do that about anything to do with health, like whoever it was before said, you just find out you're going to die. I had the Pfizer vaccine. Tap Ears, thank you for the sub. And Tobster, thank you for the sub as well. What is the time? How are we doing? I often Google actors from films I like just so I can find out more about them. Oh, I do that all the time, yes. All the time. What's the second best search engine after Google? I haven't even used anything other than Google for years. When I was a proper internet hipster at uni, because I was doing computer science. So is it DuckDuckGo? Is that one? Something like that. We all used to use that because we were internet hipsters. But you know what? Google pay my bills. I'm all in on Google. Without Google, I have to have a real job. So I don't mind supporting Google. They support me plenty. The majority of my income comes through Google and Amazon. They're both great companies. Hello, Fish. Thank you for the sub. Is this a new series? This is a new series, yeah. Well, it's as in it's not the Arsenal series. We're in season 6 of it. Boom, boom, boom. Eagles, thank you for the bits. Do I have to go real nerd on pasty? Or do I just look like a total wang if I do it? Firefox is your browser. It's not your search engine. Google Chrome is the browser. Google is the search engine. So even when you were using Firefox, you were probably still using Google as your search engine. Oh, can't stop myself. Jamie Grace, thank you very much for the sub. How many sponsors do I have? What do you mean? What do you mean? What, as in like NordVPN, who are great? At the moment, I have 2 active contracts. Jake, thank you for the sub. And Mr. M. Woods, thank you for the sub as well. I'm in the UCL final. Help. I mean, it sounds like you need to help me. I'm in the Scottish League One. And you're in the UCL final. So, you know, who needs to help who here? The search engine I hate is Bing. I don't think I've ever used Bing. Mainly because I haven't used Internet Explorer or Microsoft Edge for years. I've got a new laptop. Why should I get a VPN and which one? Well, funny you should ask. You should get a VPN in general because, especially if you're on a laptop, chances are you're going to use that somewhere other than at home on your own Wi-Fi. And as soon as you go onto any shared Wi-Fi, all the data that you have on your computer, all the data you're putting out onto the internet is at risk from anyone else who could be on that network pinching all your data. So a VPN will help protect you from having all of your stuff nicked, your identity stolen, all that kind of stuff when you're out and about using public Wi-Fi. It also has the magic trick of being able to change the IP address of your computer to make it look like your computer is somewhere else in the world entirely, which is really cool for doing stuff like watching American Netflix if you're in the UK, or American version of Disney Plus, or even for stuff like if there's a game that's not available where you live. For example, if you were in Brazil and you wanted to buy Football Manager, you could use a VPN to make it look like you weren't in Brazil, and all of a sudden when you log into Steam, lo and behold, you can buy Football Manager again. So that's why you would want a VPN. When it comes to which one you might want, of course, you want NordVPN. Partly because they sponsor me and it supports the channel and you love me, so you want to support me, but also because I genuinely believe they are the best one. That's why they're the ones that I partnered with. I went through trying lots of different VPNs over the last year or so, and Nord was the one that worked the best. And it's also really massively discounted at the moment. If you use !NordVPN, it'll bring you up a link to take you through to their website, where if you get a 2-year deal, you get a massive discount, you get a free month. And it's dirt cheap. It's so cheap. It's so reliable. They're the big name in VPNs and they work. So do it. What's the difference between NordVPN and a free one like Hola on the Google Chrome App Store? I have no idea specifically what the differences are. I would suggest the main differences are going to be one of them is a big company that you know and trust, and one of them I've never heard of. And the other difference would be NordVPN actually works. I don't know if you've ever tried using a dodgy VPN. Not that I'm saying the other one is dodgy. I've never used it or heard of it. But I tried some quite big name VPNs. It was around about the time that Frozen 2 was available on Disney Plus in America, but not in the UK. I was trying to, because Anna wanted to watch it. So that's when I started looking into VPNs. And I couldn't find one that would actually do what it was supposed to do and allow me to move our location to the US without Disney Plus going, I know what you're doing, I see you. And the only one I could find that actually worked with Disney Plus the way it was intended to was Nord. That's why I signed up for Nord, and that's why when they reached out to sponsor, I was like, yes, please, because you're great. Did you manage to get an Apollon shirt for the Odyssey series? I didn't. I was never able to find one. Is your Nord promo for existing customers new or both? I mean, if you're in an existing contract, I don't think you can use it to extend a contract. I haven't actually tried, but I mean, if your contract's coming up, you can use it to buy a new period of time, I think. I don't actually know. I'm assuming it would work for either. It looks like we're winning this game, boys and girls. I can see Kev wearing a suit with a Nord logo on the back. I'd do that. When your renewal time comes up with Nord, they always send you some code to give you a similar price. There you go. But of course, you'd rather use code LOLLUJO to help out your favourite bearded handsome streamer. I'm actually more excited for Born in the USA than Unemployed Legend, a dedicated long-term series in my country. And it's all for you. And I'm going to be playing 3 at the back, defensive all the way through as well. It was all about making you happy. Some of that wasn't true. A lot of it was true. Some of it wasn't true. I'm glad you're looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be like Apollon was last year, but on a bigger scale. It's a bigger country. Bum, 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 bum. How are you scheduling Non-League Legend Homegrown Born in the USA? Well, Non-League Legend's finishing. So, Born in the USA will go into that 4 PM slot. It won't be starting for a few weeks yet. There'll probably be a week between Non-League Legend finishing and Born starting, where I think I'm going to do a little one-off 5 or 6 episode thing, just to fill the gap. I wasn't in the Showdown. because they didn't want me. They're afraid of me. They're terrified. Oh no, it's Kev, run away! Can you show us the league structure for Born in the USA? All will become clear. I learned something life-changing yesterday. Did you know Control-Shift-Tab moves between tabs in Chrome? I didn't know that, and I'm a little afraid to try it on stream because it's just the sort of thing that someone would use to troll me. I'll try it secretly later and be really cross on tomorrow night's stream if it, like, erases my hard drive or something. It's going to be a custom database for Born in the USA. It's not the MLS, I'll tell you that much. It's a custom database. Born in the USA is going to be on YouTube. 4 o'clock on YouTube, starting probably in about 3 weeks. It's going to be a little while. FNG only wanted to be in when Kev wasn't. Exactly. He's played in 2 showdowns. I wasn't in either of the ones he played in. He's afraid of me. What if you don't win the league with Arsenal this season? Then we'll probably win the Champions League or the FA Cup or something like that. I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to drag an Unleashed Legend out now. The goal was win the Champions League. We've won the Champions League. We'll get ourselves one more season to see if we can win something else. But I think story-wise, it's done. We're just, I mean, behind the scenes stuff, one of the reasons for another year is because Bourne's not going to be ready for another 3 weeks or so. I didn't anticipate Non-League Legend finishing as early as it did. So rather than trying to find something to fill a 3-week gap, I can get another couple of weeks out of Non-League Legend and then do a 1-week filler and then come in with the new series. What do I think about FNG and his win? I think he deserved it. I think he played very well. I look forward to beating him if he ever shows up in a tournament I'm playing in. He probably won't because he's afraid of me. Boom, 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 boom. Do, 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 do. I noticed FNG said he'll definitely play in the Streamer Showdown, but when you said you'll be in as well, he had to check his schedule. Dr. Benji's still ahead of me in the Hall of Fame and Unleashed Legend. He is at the moment, but he won't be for long. Did I see Tom on Saturday? What, playing the guitar? Yeah. I do normally do 5 years in the future for Non-League Legend, yeah. And I will be again, don't worry. I'll be saving the Arsenal team for the LOLLUJO Cup at the end of the year. We'll do 5 years in the future. What is that view that we've got here? It was from the top of the car park. That was brilliant. The view from the top of the car park. Bum, 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 bum. He had a mini meltdown, started to sing to everyone. Yeah, bless him. Ben sang along. What, to Tom's guitar? Wow. Did I see the game jam? What is a game jam? What have I missed? Simon Patton update. We'll have to go and find him. I don't know what he's up to now. I've not seen him come up anywhere. He's not appeared anywhere since we got rid of him. So I would suggest he's probably not any good. The massive save that happened for charity. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm completely lost. What massive save? Have I completely missed something here? But I'll be uploading my Born save after I start so we can Start with the same random players, coaches as me. Maybe. I don't think I've ever done that before. I usually put the database up, but I guess we could do that. But I won't be releasing it until a couple of weeks after the save has started, because I mentioned it at the start of the stream today. There's going to be a few little treats in the database I don't want you to find before I'm ready for you to see them. So I won't be showing you it straight away. Gameplay. Is that the thing that Mozza was doing? Because I am vaguely aware of that. I didn't see any of it. It was on at the same time as the Showdown, wasn't it? So I was watching the Showdown. How did they do? How much did they raise? And what was the charity for? I know very little about it. What charity were they doing it for? How much money did they raise? I'm interested now. Is it still going on now, or is it done? Did I save that? I didn't save. Leicester was the one that I forgot to do. I've got the Kettering team. I've got the Posh team. I'll have the Arsenal team. I forgot the Leicester team, which is annoying. 6k. Wow. And who's that for? What charity is it for? The FM editor's not making the database for me this time. No. FM Digi's making the database because he's already made a custom US database that we're using as the starting point. We're going to lose a match here, which is not good. Do I delete the save files? I don't delete them, but because I do the 5 years in the future thing for Leicester, I don't have a save before. I just finished the save and then hollered it forward 5 years. I didn't save a separate save point. So I've got Leicester 5 years in the future, but I don't have Leicester at the end of the actual save. Game Blast was the charity. What do they do then? Well, we just lost. That wasn't on the agenda. Can we tell me how to save teams? I want to do a personal cut. That's for my saves. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. If we can do it with CLYDE now. So you just go to the squad and then go to players and then export team or versus competition. And then you can see that I've got those saved. You just put the name in, save it, and then you've got your team sat there. They make equipment and accessories to help disabled people play video games. That's really cool. Well done to everybody involved. $6,000 is a lot of money. The charity is okay. The charity is Special Effect. I have worked with Special Effect before. I know who Special Effect are. That's cool. Special Effect are great. Right. What's the time? Where's the clock? Oh, it's 9:30. Okay, we'll do another half hour or so. I'm not used to streaming anymore. It's like I've been sat here for hours. Eagles has got the right idea. He's off to bed at 9:30. What is this? I'm justified in being tired. With Anna doing 7 consecutive nights, I mean, this worries me. Get the tiny violin out for Kev. Anna did 77 hours in the last week of nights. And I'm sat here going, yeah, but I had to get up at 6 a.m. every day to go and pick her up. So I had to get up like a normal person's time for 7 days in a row rather than YouTuber time. So I'm more tired. But yeah, in addition to getting up at 6 o'clock every day, this morning was she finished her last night this morning. So I was up at 6 a.m. this morning, but I was up until 3 a.m. in the Streamer Showdown after party. It's not an after party. It's a very sensible meeting. Our debrief at the end of the showdown, but I was on with them lot until 3 a.m. Crawled into bed at 3 a.m. Alarm went off again at 6. So I am quite tired at the moment. That wasn't meant for a normie lifestyle. I know, I'm not. In my defense, it's only 4:30 p.m. here. It's too early to head off to bed. I haven't eaten yet. Oh, to be not having had eaten yet. You go back to bed after you got back. I did for a bit, but it's not the same, is it? Got back, had another like hour and a half or so, but I find it really hard to sleep during the day. Once I'm up, I'm up. I mean, the fact I had a double espresso before getting in the car to pick her up probably had something to do with the fact that I couldn't really get back to sleep when we got back. But now I'm a bit like, oh yeah, I'm quite tired now. What's Anna's job? Anna's job is a secret. The music's Streamlabs, not Streamlabs, Stream Beats. Harris Heller's stuff. This is the Stream Beats lo-fi playlist. Like a bit of lo-fi in the background. How did you cope with teaching full-time and doing YouTube? That's when I really got into coffee. I'm not even kidding. I just didn't sleep a lot. I knew it wasn't going to be forever, so I just thought sometimes you just... I know it's a cliche thing, but if you want something badly enough, you find a way to make it work. And I really, really badly wanted to make a go of this. So I just didn't sleep very much. I was in bed at like 2, 3 a.m. most nights. Up at like 6, 6:30 most days. Every now and again, I'd get so exhausted, I'd just crash and do like a 10-hour sleep, maybe once every couple of weeks. Because I just couldn't do it anymore. My body just wouldn't let me. But then the next day, I'd be straight back into pushing myself as far as I could, knowing that it was just a short-term thing with a goal at the end of it. Serious question, Kev. What would it take for me to give up coffee? I know, a really strong caffeinated tea that tastes as good as coffee. I don't know. Why? I don't know why I'd want to. You know, people do a lot more unhealthy stuff than me drinking coffee. I don't drink alcohol. I don't smoke. I don't take drugs. I can have coffee. I'm allowed one vice. It's the least harmful one of all of them. I don't see me giving up coffee. Oh, Monster. I don't like energy drinks at all. Stuff like Red Bull, Monster, none of that. I hate all that. I enjoy the taste of coffee. I'm a coffee nerd. I have my Nespresso machine with all my different flavored coffee pods. I love a good coffee. And by that, I mean good coffee. I'm a coffee snob. Try Sneak Energy. It's still energy drink. That sounds hideous. I mean, I don't like energy drinks. I don't like things like squash or anything like that. Life's too short for bad coffee. Exactly. I love coffee as well. I do like Starbucks coffee. I don't dislike Starbucks coffee. Starbucks coffee to me is a means to an end. If I've got the option to go to somewhere a little bit better, like if there's a good independent coffee place, if I want to be really snobby, or somewhere like Cafe Nero usually does a better cup of coffee, but usually I'll usually have a coffee if I'm at somewhere like a shopping center and it's the place, or if I'm driving, because Starbucks have drive-throughs. If I'm going on a long trip, your coffee choice is basically Starbucks, Costa, or Krispy Kreme. They're the only like drive-through coffee. I guess McDonald's does drive-through coffee as well, but who's going to McDonald's and not getting a burger? It's at least if I go to one of the other places, I can probably just get coffee. Have you ever had cold brew coffee with oat milk? Yes, I like it. I am a big cold brew fan in the summer. Have you ever tried coffee from an espresso machine? Yes. When's the next vlog on the vlog channel? There was one last night. And there'll be one next Sunday. Stream's gone from FM to Wall Street, back to FM, now onto coffee. That's how we do it. What about Spanish coffee? Do I look Spanish to you? Does Spanish make coffee? I don't know if I'm familiar with Spanish coffee. Don't tell me there's a Spanish way of having coffee. The reason I have an espresso machine is because when we went to Belgium 2 years ago, I fell in love with the way they do the coffee in Europe. When we went to France earlier in the year and we were like just at Disneyland, it was just like coffee there. It wasn't. There was an espresso machine in the apartment we were in, but it was just it was fine. It was just coffee. But when we were in Belgium and we went to coffee shops and I actually had proper coffee served the Belgian way, like a short, thick, strong coffee, it was like, oh, this is so good. And then I tweeted about it and everyone told me, Kev, buy an espresso machine. You can have coffee like that at home. Stop watching for a week and everything is all strange. Yeah, we left Leftly. We're now at CLYDE. Favorite instant coffee? I haven't drinking instant coffee for years, since I was a teacher. Whatever Smoothman bought was my favorite. No, what's the fancy looking one where it's like a really fine powder rather than thick granules? It comes in a little tub with a top that you pull off rather than a screw top. I can't remember what it's called. That one was quite good. But I haven't drunk Azera. That's it. Azera. That was the one that we used to have in the office, but I haven't drunk. Oh, it could be Millicano actually. Oh, I don't know now. Maybe both of them. Basically the expensive stuff. But these days if I'm drinking coffee, I'm either having my Nespresso at home or some kind of drive-through coffee if I'm on the road. Yeah, Krispy Kreme has drive-throughs. I don't think I've ever... Actually, I was going to say I don't think I've ever seen a Krispy Kreme that doesn't have a drive-through. That's not true at all. The ones in like shopping centres obviously don't have a drive-through, but the Krispy Kreme... I think Krispy Kreme was the first place in Peterborough to do drive-through coffee. We had a drive-through Krispy Kreme before we had a drive-through Starbucks or Costa. So to me, I associate Krispy Kreme with a drive-through coffee on the way out to the A1 because it was the last stop to get a drive-through coffee before hitting the motorway back when I lived in Peterborough. Although now there's a Starbucks opposite it because Starbucks are scumbags and anywhere they see somewhere doing successfully selling coffee, they just appear. Is Krispy Kreme as bad as Tim Hortons? See, I don't mind. Tim Hortons coffee is good. It's their breakfasts that are not good. Tim Hortons donuts are good. Tim Hortons coffee is good. It's just the like breakfast foods that weren't great. I'd rather have a McDonald's breakfast. Starbucks have drive-throughs. Yeah, all over the place. Can't remember the last time I got a Starbucks that wasn't from a drive-through. If you're going to Krispy Kreme and you're not getting a donut, you're doing it wrong. Yeah, that's one of the issues with going to Krispy Kreme. Which is why I would go to Starbucks now. Fully admit I've seen like 2 Krispy Kremes in the UK. Maybe I've unconsciously avoided them. But I think they're in most shopping centres now. You can buy Krispy Kreme donuts in most supermarkets. They all have like a Krispy Kreme stand in. Just Krispy Kreme delivered to work today. I keep meaning to order some of the Krispy Kreme vegan donuts because you can only order them online. You can't go to the shop and buy them, which I think is stupid. I want to try them because I haven't had a good vegan donut yet. Not that I'm vegan anymore, but I still try and avoid meat and animal products as much as I can. Just had a coffee, now you make me want another and a donut. Sorry. What's my choice at Starbucks? More often than not, I'll ask for a filter coffee. This is Kev's. It's a Kev Starbucks hack. Unless it's like a super busy Starbucks, they always have filter coffee on the menu. But for some reason, unless they're the really busy city centre ones, they never actually have a pot of filter coffee ready, which I think is insane. Because that, if I want a cup of coffee, I'll have the filter coffee, thanks. But they never have the filter coffee. But it's always the cheapest thing on the menu. So I always ask for a filter coffee. They say, oh, we don't have any on at the moment. Do you want an Americano for the same price? And I go, yes, please. I'll have an Americano for the same price. So I tend to ask for a filter coffee and get given an Americano. Unless it's the summer, in which case I'll have the cold brew. Isn't filter coffee awful? It's fine. It's just like drinking coffee at home. Americano black. It's all with a splash of oat milk. Oat milk is my go-to in coffee now. Tastes like cream. Awesome. I had a cortado this week, which was really nice. What is a cortado? The thing with Starbucks is I've been on this thing for years now that I try to avoid drinking calories. That's why you only ever see me drinking diet drinks. That, and I prefer them, but I don't want to have a really creamy, milky, caramelly, syrupy drink. If I want a cup of coffee, I tend to want to taste the coffee. So I avoid all of the weird and wonderful stuff they do, apart from the iced coffee, because it's not the iced coffee, the cold brew coffee, because it's so good. Basically a small, strong latte. Okay. That sounds all right. You probably signed Cortado, he's Brazilian. The only awful coffee is from vending machines. Yeah, I don't think I've had a vending machine coffee since I was a student. I love coffee, but my IBS says otherwise. Oh, see, that would be a nightmare. Anna always laughs at me. I mean, if you don't like hearing people talking about pooing, just take your headphones off for a minute. But Anna always mocks me because coffee, I think this is for most people, coffee makes me poo on demand pretty much. I'll get up in the morning, first thing I do, go and have a poo. First thing in the morning, you got to have a poo, it's the law. But then I'll come downstairs, have a coffee, and after my first coffee, I go up and have another poo. It's like 2 poos in the first hour of being awake, 1 pre-coffee, which is just like taking the edge off. And then you have the first proper post-coffee poo, and that empties you out. Beautiful. There you go. You didn't expect me to start talking about my pooing, did you? There you go. The only cam was there. Yep, same. Like clockwork. This is the content I come here for. What have I just joined to? We're just talking about pooing. I wish that was the same for me. Yeah, I imagine IBS throws a spanner in the works of that. And that's why Kev's got the cleanest bowel in the FM community. Absolutely, I have. I always expect you to talk about pooing. See, Mike's been around for a long time. He knows ultimately we'll end up back talking about poo. Cold brew is the worst for what that I've found from my extensive research. What, for making you poo? I haven't really. See, cold brew's not a... I tend to do... Where is it? I tend to do most of my pooing in the morning. So usually by the time I'm out and about and around having a cold brew, I'm usually empty. So I've not really noticed that. I might have to experiment with it. I do live... I'm walking distance away from a Costa Coffee now. I've not actually been in there because it's one of these weird places that's not a drive-through. So because we're in the middle of a pandemic, I'm not going to walk into a coffee shop. But once everything's back to normal, there is a Costa Coffee walking distance from my house. So I might experiment with that one morning once the pandemic is over. Go and get a cold brew as my first coffee of the morning and see what impact it has on the schedule. My ex-girlfriend mocked me for not having a poo schedule. I mean, to be fair, it sounds like she had a point. Bosbacker, thank you for the Prime Gaming sub. I regret my week off already. I'm glad I didn't miss this. First time joining the stream and you're talking about poo. I mean, to be honest, yeah. I mean, it sets the bar at the appropriate level, I think. First one must be the I had a kebab yesterday poo. Oh, filthy. That's just filth. Can we appreciate someone who's just subbed with this talk? Yeah, exactly. Love it. My brother and his best man have a poo counter, and at the end of the year, whoever's done the most poos wins a 24-pack of toilet roll. That is clever. I mean, I would want evidence though. I'd want a photograph of each bowel movement. I would not want that. There's a lot of trust in that system though, unless they live together. I'll challenge Anna to that. Anna, do you want a pooing contest for a year? See what she says. Unfortunately, those have been provided. Oh God. How Kev became single. Yeah. I was thinking about toilets the other day. This is what you've caused. It was one of the many mornings this week where I've woken up on my own because Anna's been on nights. And it reminds me, because obviously almost all the time she's there when I get up in the morning. The only time she's not is usually when I'm off traveling for work. If I'm down in London for a convention or something, or gallivanting off doing something or other. So whenever I wake up in the morning, it's always like, and she's not there. It's like, oh, am I in a hotel? And then I realise where I am. No, I'm at home. And I was just thinking, because I've never had an ensuite until we moved into this house. I've lived my entire life in a one toilet house. Not the same one. I've lived in like 4 different places in my life, but we've always just been a one toilet kind of family. But now we've got an ensuite, and it just will forever feel fancy to me because I was 38 before I got one. But waking up thinking I was in a hotel then got me thinking, I don't think living in a house where I've got an ensuite in my room, I don't think that will ever stop feeling like I'm in a hotel. Because I could just get up. I could not leave my room all day like I was in a hotel. I could get up, do my toilet in, drink out of the sink. All I need is coffee making facilities, and it's like I'm forever on holiday. You people who've had an ensuite all your lives, you don't know you're born. The luxury you live in. Soggy Elbows, thank you for the Prime Gaming sub. I had an ex who'd refused to poo until I left the house. I mean, that's a dangerous game, isn't it? I'd just not leave for 3 days. Your move, love. Your move. Hotels ruined for me. Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to want to go away now. The one thing I liked about hotels, I don't have to get dressed to go to the toilet. Because that's what I really mean when I say it reminds me of being in a hotel. Because if I'm in a hotel room on my own, which towards the year before lockdown started, ridiculous we're talking in those terms now, but 2019 I spent like 2 months away in hotels for various events and things, and I would say maybe only a quarter of them Anna was with me, a couple of them Pab was with me, so I wasn't naked for those ones. But when you're in a hotel room, especially if you're on your own, anyone who's travelled for work a lot knows this, or is this just me? But once you're in the hotel room, all the clothes are coming off. And if you get up I'm sleeping naked. I don't care if a fire alarm goes off. I'm sleeping naked. When I get up in the night, I'm not putting clothes on. And that was a bit of luxury of being in a hotel. Because when I was at home, the toilet was down the landing. I can't walk down to the landing naked to use the toilet. My kids could see me. But when I was in a hotel, I had the joy of being able to be naked. And now I have that at home too. I don't have to get dressed to use the toilet ever. Ooh, the posh job's available. Oh, he looks so happy to have left. Sheepdog's turned up. That's not what Pab says. Look, me and Pab have a special relationship when we're away together. We travel from all the corners of the country, converge in London for an event, and then spend the Saturday shopping for jam at Fortnum and Mason. That's how middle class I've become. Is that before or after you ordered room service? I've never stayed in a fancy enough hotel to get room service. I'm very much a Premier Inn man. Disclosure, I have been sponsored by them in the past. But yeah, very much a Premier Inn man. I love turning the heating up full blast in a hotel room and getting naked. Scotty, you're a wise man. I've been scarred by stories of people living in the hotel walls, so I'm worried some weirdo would see my bits if I did that. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, I guess for different people it has a different impact, but I think if someone sees my bits, I get the last laugh there. They had to look at my genitals. Best part about working away is not getting dressed to use the toilet in the hotel. Exactly. Exactly that. And now I've got that at home, and it'll never stop being cool. So, bottom line, thank you to everyone who subbed over the last several years, because you now let me urinate naked in the evening. And it's much appreciated. Apparently we're selling this guy. The only time I've ever ordered room service was when work picked up the bill at the Bull in Peterborough. Cooked brekkie without leaving the room. Oh, naked breakfast. Kevin too proud of his bits to be embarrassed about that scenario. I mean, yeah. There was one time back in the early days, I don't know if Sheepdog's still here, because he can verify this story. Back in the very early days of the podcast, when we'd not long finished being students and we were completely skint. Me, Anna and Sheepdog shared a hotel room when we were down in London for an EGX. So Sheepdog will confirm sometimes you just walk into the hotel room and you're met by my scrotum looking back at you. It's one of his favourite EGX experiences. Who do I think will be the next Palace manager? Me. I only remember before and after that, a moment it's been blacked out. Sheepdog just needs to remember that if you're sharing a hotel room with a couple, don't just swan in whenever you feel like it. Knock. So you and Sheepdog shared the bed and Anna got the couch. Something like that, yeah. Some kind of variation of that. Who cares if they see your bits? It's their loss, not yours. Exactly. I don't care who sees my balls. I find it a bit weird that some people get upset about it. What do I think about Darren Moore leaving Doncaster? I think it's just the Doncaster way, isn't it? You get an average manager for a little while who looks like they might accidentally get you promoted, and then some club from a bigger league notices and they disappear first offer they get. It's called the Doncaster method. Do I prefer Airbnbs or hotels? These days, Airbnbs, but that's only because I like the flexibility of them now, and the kids tend to come away with us a little bit more often. You just get a little bit more room and a little bit more bang for your buck in an Airbnb as well. But if you're looking for a cheap place to sleep, you can't beat a Premier Inn. Still not a sponsor currently. Okay, if you need to do an OnlyFans, don't care who sees your balls. Money! Airbnb is great fun for a group of 8+ having a party weekend. It's also great for just a family down in London for the weekend, for example. Like, if now the kids are older, like this time last year, or yeah, it was pretty much this time last year when we were down in London for VidCon, there were 6 of us down there. There was me and Anna, there was Lucy and her boyfriend, there was Amy, and then there was Andy. There's not really any combination of those 6 people. You can't even fit them into 2 hotel rooms, really. So getting a decent sized family house on an Airbnb not only gives you loads more space, it's not only more convenient because you get a kitchen and a big TV and stuff as well, but it actually works out cheaper than getting like 3 or 4 hotel rooms would. We've got that problem because we've started looking into booking Disneyland again, because hopefully later on this year we'll be able to go back to Disneyland Paris. But now the kids are all older. If Lucy comes, she'll want to bring her boyfriend, but she probably won't come anyway. But then it's me, Anna, Amy and Andy. We can't really have... I mean, Amy's 15 this year. We can't really have, like, the 4 of us in a hotel room. It's just weird, isn't it? Parents, 17-year-old boys, 15-year-old girls sharing one hotel room. It's just odd. So we're probably going to have to look into one of the apartment places again, like we did before, which then really limits where you can go, and it's usually a little bit more expensive. But I don't know. Is there any decent Airbnbs near Disneyland Paris? Do we need to look into that maybe? Not that I think Anna would be on board with it, because she likes the whole experience of a Disney hotel. We've got Disneyland Paris booked for the end of August. Fingers crossed, watch out. There are restrictions on the hotels that open till October. The issue we've got, we don't want to book until we know what this situation is going to be with like the vaccination passport thing. Because certainly the kids won't have had their second doses of the vaccination by the summer, I wouldn't have thought. Will they even have had their first doses by then? Will they be allowed to go? I've had my first dose. Anna will be having hers this week or next. She's just got to get it booked in. But who knows when they're going to have theirs. Just don't take the kids. Harsh but easier. That's what me and Anna did last time we went to Disney. But we can't do that every time. I think that's cruel and unusual punishment for most children. I've shared a room with my family of 5 and my sister's boyfriend for 2 nights. I mean, cool. I don't really want to do that. I don't really want to put the kids through that. Does Amy need one being under 16? Not per UK rules, but I don't know what the rules would be getting into France. Andy's not had his yet, no. There are tons of Airbnbs around Disneyland. Interesting. Might have to look into it. Benny boy, thank you very much for the sub. Oh, we're dancing. Oh, we're dancing.
Content excited for Born in the USA.
We haven't sorted out channel points to get the name in the game update. I have my thing from earlier, my notes. I'm adding to this channel points for name update. I'm going to do that as well. That's also sat on my desk. Yeah, so bottom line, we're not going to book anything for Disney until we know that we're not going to have to cancel again. We cancelled Disney twice last year. So that was a fan day. It was a resounding success. Beautiful. So until we know for sure that we're going to be able to get in, we're not going to do anything. French people will love you at their Airbnbs. Your name sounds like them. LOLLUJO. Do you think Andy will have any issues taking the vaccine? He'll have the first dose and then refuse the second one, I imagine. Because he won't, it's so quick, he won't know what's happening for the first one. But then, unless the second one's at a completely different place with completely different people, he'll be wise to it and just won't go. We also don't know what the rules on return will be. Yeah, I mean, I'm not, I don't have an issue with coming back and quarantining. Obviously, Anna might have, because, you know, work.
Hey Kev, missed the streams. How are you and the family?
Daft Pigeon, thank you very much for the sub. I'm good, they're good. Thank you very much. Is Goran Pavlov involved? Well, we'll have to wait and see, won't we? Can't imagine a situation where Goran Pavlov wouldn't be involved in some way or another. After all, he is the king of America. Can you not just wait for the single jab vaccine for Andy? I mean, potentially we will, but again, if it becomes a case of him as a 17-year-old needing a vaccine passport to get to Disneyland, it then becomes a whole delay thing. That's why we're not booking, because there's so many question marks over what we will or won't be able to do. We're swapping that number 8 squad number around constantly. It makes a mockery of squad numbers. Just had a quick look on the internet. If you haven't been able to get the vaccine, you can have evidence of a negative test result within like 72 hours, but that's not set in stone. But would you then need that to come back as well? So if we're there for a week, are we going to have to get tested here and then tested again there before we come back? Should be able to arrange getting the vaccine for Andy with your GP. That might be able to make him more comfortable. What that'll actually do is make him never go to the GP again. It needs to be somewhere well away from anywhere he's ever going to have to go to again, because he just won't go back to the place where he gets hurt. Will the Born Save have any other leagues open to fill out the available players? Yes. Bum, 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 bum. The problem is with having to get tested. Again, if it's the test where you have to go up the nose and onto the back of the throat, there's no way Andy's cooperating for that. I'm good, thank you, official SHD. Thank you for asking. See, some people ask. Some of you are so rude. They came in and asked straight away how I am. Some of you lot. Where are your manners? I'm very good. How are you, official SHD? See, I'll return the good manners. Scotty, I know you're only asking now because I told you to ask. It's lost all meaning. If anything, you've made it worse there, Scotty. Ridiculous. I was sitting in the room waiting for mine, then I was told I couldn't have it because I had symptoms within the previous 28 days. Wow. We'll ask you tomorrow. I hope so. Imagine the conversation being something along the lines of staying in Disneyland or stick this thing up your nose. Yeah. It's a piece of FM meat to us. I'm often called a piece of FM meat. Or hunk is the other word that's often used. You're just a hunk, Kev. You didn't have to listen to my bowel movements. Look, Liam, you didn't have to listen to my bowel movements. You listened to me briefly describing my bowel movements. If you want to listen to my bowel movements, that's what stereo is for. If you don't follow me on stereo yet, I might do a live podcast from the toilet tomorrow morning to let you know. I might even do first poo and second poo so you can hear the difference. That's stereo.com/LOLLUJO. I don't even know if it's .com. What is it? If it's not stereo.fm, they've branded that wrong. A poo cast. There's my niche. Sheepdog, you're looking for a niche. There's your niche. Kev, we aren't rude. We're just in awe of you speaking about poo and genitals. We apologise. I mean, I do talk about them a lot, but they are my favourite subjects. Yeah, comparing poo, Sheepdog. There's your niche. Get yourself on stereo. Live broadcast your poo every day. Oh, Sheepdog's so weird. He probably doesn't poo on a schedule. I know full well if I was broadcasting every poo, you'd get episode 1 of every morning at 6:05 in the morning, and then you'd get episode 2 at usually about 8:15. Pre-coffee, post-coffee. It's like clockwork. We could synchronise our pooing. I'd love that. There's nothing I want more than to synchronise my pooing with all you lot. You feel guilty that every time you miss a stream of Showdown, a FIFA player wins. I don't know if guilt is the right word. shake my head in despair about how pathetic everyone else is to keep letting it happen. It doesn't happen on my watch. Surely all episodes would be number 2. Oh. Do I ever do pre and post poo weigh-ins? No, but it could be a feature on this new poo cast. The sheepdog's going to do. Oh, crumbs. You can have guests on. 2 of my toilets are close enough together for us to be able to shout to each other and have a conversation. We both wear... If each of us has one half of a set of AirPods on, you can interview from toilet to toilet. It'd be brilliant. Oh, this is content. Right. I hear what I'm talking about. Yeah, I was going to say it must be gone 10 o'clock. If this is what I've resorted to talking about, I must be really tired now. So I think we are going to wrap things up there. That has been fun. I've missed streaming for the last week. It's been fun being back. I am going to be streaming every night this week, apart from Friday, because Sheepdog insists I have to do the podcast. But I'll be back tomorrow at 7 o'clock again, where we'll continue our charge towards the Scottish Championship. We are top of the league, look. Wonderful stuff. We're the greatest team in Scotland. But for now, we probably need to find somebody to go and raid. I've got some name in the game players to sort out before I can go to bed. So, hold on, twitch.tv. Who's streaming? Oh, is Lee streaming? This is amazing. We're going to raid Foxy, and you're all just going to go in there and say Kev was right. And then I just want to hear his reaction. It will just please me. So we're going to raid Foxy. You go in there. Don't even bother saying raid. I just want you all to turn up. Kev was right. He'll love it. You'll never see a bigger smile than what you'll get off Foxy when you all go in there and do that. He loves that kind of thing. Box in the Box, FM. So remember, you go in, you're saying Kev was right, and then I'll allow you to have a normal conversation from there. And then we'll be back here 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Boys and girls, thank you for watching. Toodle pip. Bye-bye now. Kev was right. Remember, Kev was right.
Kev was right. Kev was... Oh, my God's sake. I was so confused then. Kev wasn't right. We had the top goal scorer. I rate it, though. I rate it. 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 Even the new... Kev, you can't write it. Hey, I rate it. I rate it. I rate it. It's all fun. It's all fun. He was right that we weren't going to win it, but I feel like predicting you're not going to win it is quite easy. Because 8 people ain't going to win it. Yeah, fight back with the SMS. Come on, chat. Fight. Cammy's on it. Fight back with the SMS.